tune in at 6:40. You will have missed potentially the first homer of the game. Who knows?
Yeah, why do they do that?
Irredeemably stupid.
6:38 exactly.
Yeah, I don't know.
You must think I'm pretty stupid.
Why do they make a 6:38 first pitch with a peak?
Don't know.
So yeah, that's
I don't know why that pisses me off, but it pisses me off.
Now here are the guys.
Welcome in. Happy Tuesday to those who celebrate. Big Rich, TD, and Fletch with you. And we've got a lot to give. We have 3 hours, as a matter of fact, here on sports. And then we'll follow it up this afternoon with 4 hours on Classic Rock 101.5 KGB.
Then we'll add more and more hours on social media.
That's correct. Yeah. We don't sleep, and nor should you. There's not enough time to take in all the content that we're providing for you.
That's right.
No, listen, we are as thin as we've been stretched recently. There has been an abundance of news that has come our way. Normally the football offseason, especially when you kind of get into the doldrums of the NBA playoffs, we had a sweep and a gentleman's sweep in the conference finals in the NBA. So we have this long wait until tip-off on Thursday for the finals. And then, by the way, the finals could take 3 weeks to meet its end if that goes 7 games. And then, you look at baseball, the season has really just now started to take hold where the first, I think it was Jeff Passan, put out his first early look at the trade deadline. Like, we are still just getting started on the baseball season, 60 games in. We have 100 to go.
Is that fun or not fun?
No, that's not fun.
Yes, it seems like a lot.
It's an inurgent mess.
Yes.
And it has been for years, unfortunately.
Cleanser.
And we've had NFL news, and we've had breaking stories, and we've had intrigue everywhere you look.
Justin Jefferson, Jalen Waddle getting new contracts. It looks like CeeDee Lamb might be next there. The 49ers wide receivers, rumors are out that one of them is going to be in Pittsburgh by the start of the season.
You basically have 2 holdouts in Bengals camp.
We have fun NFL news.
Crazy.
Yeah.
The Kirk Cousins drama.
We will be inundated here pretty soon. We're less than 100 days away from the first Sunday of the fall, which means we're like within 90 days just about of the Thursday kickoff of the season. Like, it's all coming up pretty soon.
Right. And talking baseball, talking Padres would be a lot more fun if they were hot, if they were on fire.
Yes.
The problem is they're just kind of a middle of the road team. The good news is there's other teams that are less than middle of the road.
It's true.
Now they're in the hunt right now, 60 games in.
Look, the grass is always greener until you get to the other side of the fence, because sometimes what you wish for, you don't actually want. And then you look back at what you had and you say, oh, that would have been nice. And I think that's where we're at. I think it is very easy to get down on this team, especially when you see a 1-run loss, especially when you see a pretty fortuitous start for the Padres offense. Manny Machado goes yard in the first inning. And you're thinking, okay, maybe they hopped off this road trip to KC with some bad intentions here for the Angels. And then they went 0 for 6 with runners in scoring position. So the offense was ice cold. The Angels got the requisite 2 runs they needed to beat the Padres after Manny's solo shot. And you look at the pitching staff, and you can't say anything but nice things. Matt Waldron, 6 1/3 innings, 4 strikeouts, 0 walks, 1 earned run.
By the way, he's been fantastic his last 5 starts.
He needs to be.
Exactly. Yeah. We're running out of pitchers.
Yeah.
By the way, 92 days, 17 hours, 53 minutes, 44 seconds.
Okay, thank you very much. Let's
You're
keep
welcome.
that clock up. We will update you throughout the show. That is the NFL clock. Thank you.
You know what? Going to the top of the rundown right now. You guys can click on it whenever you want.
Thank you. Thank you.
It
makes me happy when I look at it.
Here's the crux of it all. There is no game with this Padres lineup that they should lose only scoring 1 run. It shouldn't happen. So this is where you get frustrated. I think that's why you get down so quick. You also get down so quick because of stats like they're going to play the worst home team in Major League Baseball, and they had the best away record. Is that right, Fletch?
So statistically, the Padres, and this came out yesterday after our show, but someone put down all the Major League Baseball stats, and it was like Padres are first in a majority of them when they're on the road. Run differential, batting average, all the stats that would lead you to believe that the Padres would be a really good road team, right? Well, then they put that side by side with the Angels' home stats. And statistically speaking, the Padres going into yesterday's game were the best road team in Major League Baseball, and the Angels were the worst home team in Major League Baseball. So, of course, the Padres lose.
Listen, there were two crucial moments in this game where you had aggressive base running that, I guess, in the words of, I'm blanking on his name, AJ Cassavell, in his article that I read, kind of blurred the lines between aggressive and reckless.
Jurickson Profar was out by 15 feet.
Yeah, and I get it.
It was nice.
It wasn't aggressive. Nice. It was stupid.
Yeah, I get it. But I also do like to add context to everybody operates like, the game that happened on June 3rd. Oh, reckless. It's like, really? I'd rather Profar make that mistake. By the way, Profar, who's been the reason why the Padres have an offense, I'd rather Profar make that mistake in June than in October.
Was that a Profar mistake, though? He was
third base coach.
Yeah, or by the way, or the third base coach. I mean, I didn't concentrate close enough on the third base coach. Maybe he was putting the stop sign on Profar. Maybe he was waving him home.
He was waving him home.
Whatever. I didn't look at the play close enough to tell you, but what I can tell you is this. I'd rather that mistake happen in June than in October.
For sure.
Yeah.
And you can make the argument that in June, it's more important to try these things because, well, what if the Angels make a mistake on the play, right? And Jurickson Profar scores, it looks like a genius move. Like, I don't think anybody thought that Jurickson Profar, as he was coming around third, was going to make it home safely if the Angels pulled off the perfect play. But it's also a Major League Baseball team, and you got to expect them to make a pretty good play. I don't know.
Well, then,
things like that tick me off.
Also, by the way, Ha-Seong Kim legging out a double, trying to turn it into a triple. Hey, look, again, when these mistakes are made in June, I'm okay with them because it's guys trying hard. Like Profar and Ha-Seong Kim, you're not going to hear me say all that much bad about them. And there will be people on social media, Fletchy just did it. Profar's an idiot.
No, Profar's not the idiot.
Maybe the third base coach, whatever he wants.
Tim Leiper, I think his name is.
Who cares? Who cares? Honestly,
yeah,
I'd rather see guys who've actually contributed to this team's success so far this season trying their asses off, even if it's reckless, even if it seems dumb at time, because the fact of the matter is we've gotten so little from the major players on this team that maybe this is a signal like, hey, maybe let's take a little bit of the pressure off Ha-Seong Kim and take a little bit of the pressure off Jurickson Profar, two guys who are making, I think, combined $10 million or more less than what Machado is making this season.
It is wild. When you look at three of the better performers on the team this year, you look at Jurickson Profar, Matt Waldron, and there was one other person, Solano. Mm-hmm. They're all making like a combined $2 million this year.
Yeah.
And then you look at what Manny Machado and Fernando Tatis Jr. and Xander Bogaerts and Joe Musgrove and Yu Darvish are all making, and it's way, way north of that. Just one singular one of them. But you do look, and I guess we've gotten positive signs from Manny Machado. Yesterday, the home run, I think that was 26 games without a homer, which is the second longest streak in his career that he's gone without a home run. But it's good to see it. It was a bomb, dude. Like that thing was crushed in the first inning. And then you look at Fernando Tatis Jr., and over the last 10 games, the trend is moving positively. And Manny Machado has reached base in something like 13 consecutive games. So you're seeing trends start to go the right direction, but it kind of is all for naught when you put up one run against the freaking Angels.
Yeah, and then where the frustration lies is, so Profar gets thrown out at home. And I agree with you, Rich. Be aggressive, especially right now. Be aggressive. That's great. But now, I think it was the 8th inning.
Manny Machado was next up to bat.
And Profar was on second, right? He had a leadoff double. So now you got a man in scoring position, and you can't send him home. I mean, this team is you're one run away.
And Manny Machado, who had hit a home run earlier in the game, and you're thinking, oh, finally, maybe Manny's waking up, right? He's up next, and he gets left in the on-deck circle because he gets thrown out at home. Well, like, that's the frustrating stuff.
Yeah, I get it. But again, like the same way I'm not going to get it caught up in one negative moment for Profar or Ha-Seong Kim, I'm not going to get caught up on 8 games from Tatis that have gone well. I'm not going to get caught up in one moment for Manny Machado that's gone well. I need to see more. I know at this point in the season that I can rely on Profar's bat because he's proven that he's playing at an all-star caliber this season. Ha-Seong Kim has been a consistent performer. He has his faults, but you look around this lineup and there are guys there are guys who should be playing well who aren't or haven't. And I need like a 20 game stretch so that I can truly start to trust what I'm seeing is real with Tatis.
Can we take a timeout real quick? Because you just said something that made me laugh really hard.
20 game stretch.
No.
Oh.
Jurickson Profar is probably going to be an all-star.
Yeah.
And he's earned that. And he's been one of the best players in the National League this year. I'd say Luis Ariz might be an all-star this year.
Luis Ariz will be if he keeps at this.
Suarez might be an all-star this year. He's been incredible. Who else? Matt Waldron?
I mean,
maybe.
Nah, probably
Dude can
not.
shove.
Yeah. But
But seriously, look around this team. Look at the money on this team. None of them have had all-star worthy first halves of this season.
That's depressing.
Like,
That's
are those
depressing.
your 3 guys?
it's
4 guys, maybe?
It's one of those seasons where like we know, like we've seen what we're seeing on a night in, night out basis, you're not sure you could trust when it comes to the stars. But one thing that's happened, the role players who have been signed to this rosters, or by the way, Ariz was a star. He was star before the trade. He was a star after the trade. He's a really, really good contact hitter.
He said he would be back in the lineup yesterday. He was not.
Yeah. And he's delivering exactly that. Luis Ariz has been exactly what he was supposed to be, or better, frankly, since he signed as a Padre. Look, it's easy to get down when they lose a game, especially after they lose the final game on the road to KC. It's kind of like they're allergic to sweeps, and then they're allergic to capitalizing on bad teams playing bad baseball. And that's what the Angels are. That's a team that's having a tough time not playing great baseball, and it's a good time to jump on them, especially when you have your pitching staff pitching a gem of a game for you. And you go 0 for 6 with runners in scoring position.
But they play again tonight. They play tomorrow, and I mean, you come back from this road trip 4-2, possibly. It still works.
Now, have you guys done the deep dive on the Padres starting pitcher for tonight?
I have not.
I did. 23 years old. He's been brought up. He's like the number 5 pitching prospect in baseball. His name is Adam Mazur. The guy John and Jim had yesterday who's been covering him in the minors said Mazur.
All right. Well,
I don't know.
I saw a pronouncer on Twitter from a guy who said it's pronounced like Frazier.
You're probably right. I just said the dude who covered him in the minor league said Mazur.
All right.
Okay.
Hard Z. But he's coming up, 23 years old. Nothing but well wishes for him. He's a hard thrower. He has like this kind of cutter slider type pitch that's supposed to be pretty good, but
cool.
we'll see.
Yeah, bring it on.
He got lit up in the Pacific Coast League, which is the league that has all those ballparks that are very hitter friendly. But in Double-A, I guess where he started his season, he was fantastic.
Also, some good news if you were trying to get to bed early, the game will probably end a little earlier because it starts early. 6:38 again, guys.
Yeah.
Those 2 minutes, man.
Listen.
Listen, the schedulers, they know.
They gotta fit it in.
92 days, 17 hours, 44 minutes, 35 seconds.
Yeah, we're still on the clock there. All right, so listen, we've got a lot of fun to get to. Like I said, this offseason of the NFL has delivered because we've had storylines coming from everywhere in sports, including the WNBA. We'll get to that in just a second. First, I want to remind everyone we have Daryl Hall tickets. He's got a show at June 16th, at Cal Coast Credit Union Amphitheater. That's going to be on June 16th. Ticketmaster.com for deets and seats. First, a halftime. What I got for you is the Padres loss and a nice start by Matt Waldron, a nice homer by Manny Machado, but the offense was ice cold last night in California. Unfortunate start for the Padres in this series, but like we mentioned, we have a game tonight. It's a 6:38 first pitch. Woo! 2 minutes earlier than that crummy 6:40 time.
That's so boring.
Staying with the Padres for a second, we'll get into this story a little later on. San Diego Padres infielder Tucupita Marcano is facing potential lifetime ban for betting on baseball after Major League Baseball received information that he wagered on games involving the Pittsburgh Pirates when he was with the team last season. Marcano was recovering from a torn ACL when he placed the bets, allegedly, and they were flagged by a sports book, then reported to the league. Also, sad story out of the NFL. Pro Football Hall of Fame offensive lineman Larry Allen died suddenly while on vacation with his family. We mentioned this yesterday, but a lot of really nice posts came out about Larry Allen. I spent the day yesterday just watching Larry Allen highlights. I'm a little bit of an offensive line nerd, and so I really enjoyed going back and taking a look at. He might be, actually, in my opinion, he's probably the best offensive lineman who's ever played, and that's saying a lot. He did everything well. He was great pass protector, great run blocker, opened up lanes for a Hall of Famer, Emmitt Smith, the all-time NFL leading rusher. I don't think anybody is going to touch his stats because the game has switched away from the run game. So I think Emmitt Smith's record's safe, and certainly Larry Allen. I don't know if we're going to see a road grader dancing bear like Larry again in the NFL, because he was a rare mix of brute strength and athleticism. It was like a grizzly bear in shoulder pads. So 52, way too young. Rest in peace, big man.
Hall of Famer passes away. It's a sad day.
Yeah. Do you think the game slides back to the running game ever, or is it just the NFL's looking for high-powered, fast, high-scoring offense?
I'd love to hear Rich's theory. He'll know this better than me. I have a dumb theory that works in my head, but I coming from a place of nobody who's ever played a snap of football in my life other than flag. I think the answer is no, because I think that like Saquon Barkley is the new prototype, right? Guys who are really, really strong with big, thick quads, and they just push it 100% of the time.
Wait. Back up and describe the quads again.
Big, thick quads.
Wow.
Those things are like tree trunks. I mean, you guys have seen them. They're ridiculous.
You could sketch me a quick picture.
But I do think that it's easier when you're a Saquon Barkley type athlete to get injured, because your muscles are so big and you're so fast and your fast twitch muscles are so intense that the tendons in the human body literally aren't strong enough to keep up with how strong Saquon Barkley is. And so when you get that, there's a higher injury factor, and it's not guys like Emmitt Smith who are able to tote the ball 25, 30 times a game. I think that it's still going to be a little bit less, because it's a little bit like pitchers in the major leagues where you're being asked to go so hard so early in games that come the fifth inning, you're a little worn out and maybe you have a little less to give. I think the same thing with running backs, and I think coaches are adapting to that. So now they have two running backs that they kind of share the load with, and then maybe in the fourth quarter you get the guy who is the dominant back who's going to be touching the ball more than the backup.
Well, that's all we have time for. The Herd is next. San Diego Sports 760. Who do we think?
Okay, but am I off?
yeah, a little bit. I mean, like, first of all, Saquon Barkley is one of one. Nobody looks like him. No
Correct.
body types are even close to similar to the way Saquon Barkley is built. So I disagree with that point.
Thick thighs.
Really thick thighs. That's a guy who is stronger than the offensive lineman who blocked for him in college.
Maybe he was the bad example. But what I'm saying, the split time at the running back position is because guys are being asked to do a little bit more on every play than they were.
You're looking way too deeply into this, because there's still a Derrick Henry. There's still, guys who will dominate the backfield reps and things like that. The biggest difference is the NFL has steered its rules towards the passing game. That's the biggest. Look, I mean, if I'm going to say, hey, free candy, you're not going to go pay for it over there.
Right.
Right.
So
I mean, you're literally giving offensive coordinators the ability to take chunks of yards at a time easily through the air, as opposed to trying to ground and pound for 3 yards, 4 yards, 5 yards, and then trying to break a big one. The rule changes would have to change in order for the run game to come back. To answer your question, simply,
that makes sense.
Like, because this is what the NFL wants. They want your phone buzzing. They want fantasy football fans. They know what's exciting: touchdowns, stats, receivers getting 2,000-yard seasons. Like, that's the direction we're heading, and it's very simply traced back to the rule changes.
Yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Also, Saquon Barkley, thick thighs.
He's a thick ass.
2 C's on those thighs.
Thank you for that breakdown.
Well,
I mean, that was very sensual.
I mean, pretty much every team outside of 2 or 3 does go with the 2-headed running back option, not just one.
Yeah. You did a good job, Fletch.
I don't appreciate you making me feel small. I feel big. I'm a big, strong boy.
You really are. You did a good job.
Easy, guys. We're fine. Let's talk Padres.
Yeah,
I don't want to.
Let's get back to the Padres.
Come on.
92 days, 17 hours, 38 minutes, 18 seconds.
We have to make a S sandwich out of a 500 team, okay? That's what we got to feed everybody.
We got to do
Are they back to actual 500 now?
Nah, they're
No.
one
One
game
over.
over. They're one game over.
32 and 31.
Yeah.
Hey, guys, look, we got 95 plus more games.
Right. But the fact of the matter is if they do win tonight, they win tomorrow, They're 3 games over 500. So, I mean, if you just keep that trend going, they're eking up the ranks here, guys. Come on, that sandwich tastes good.
I'm going to be honest with you. If they outscore their opponent,
That's right.
those are called wins. If they
But-
do this enough,
Yeah.
I mean, we're talking about a winning season.
You know what would work better? Those multiple run games.
Yeah,
Would help out.
Yeah,
Would help out.
instead of just one homer. How about this? 2 homers.
Can you imagine? That would be doubling your output, though.
That is some Jim Russell breakdown, boys.
That is hard to do. Hard to do.
We are
Look,
really leaning into
again.
being the source for your Padres news
That's
on
right.
San Diego Sports 760.
Premier source for Padres information. Big Rich, TD, and Fletch.
Cut the promo.
Yeah.
Cut the promo. All right. Listen, when you talk about a premier source, look no further than Jordan Colby. If we're talking about dentistry, my goodness, Ocean View Dental. You've heard me laud this place for a long time now, months and months and months, because my first experience over there was nerve-wracking, to be honest with you, because I had been told that a dental procedure I was looking to undergo was going to take 18 months. And I met with Dr. Jordan Colby, and I was assuming the same terrible news. And he said, no, dude. And he's like, we'll have this done in 3 months. Of course, he didn't use the word dude, and he spoke to me like a doctor and a professional. And I'm an idiot, so I can't relate to you exactly how impressed I was with his whole setup over there and the whole diagnostics procedure. They have state-of-the-art technology. They have all the tools that he needs to get the job done. But most impressed, the part that I was most impressed with was the family touch. Like, everybody in that office approaches you with warmth. They know why you're there. They understand that you may be nervous for your procedure. And I was. And then I wasn't after meeting with Dr. Jordan Colby. And like I said, he told me 3 months for a procedure that I was told would take a year and a half. And he didn't lie. I was in and out of that office that day feeling great, and then walked back in there for my procedure feeling even better because we stayed on schedule. And I came back to work the very next day after having 3 implants put in. So look, if your story's like mine, if you need massive dental work, Dr. Jordan Colby, no question, oceanviewdental.net. If your story's not like mine and you just need your next teeth cleaning, Dr. Jordan Colby, oceanviewdental.net. If you're just looking to have a cavity done, if you're looking for a second opinion, Dr. Jordan Colby, oceanviewdental.net. Check him out at oceanviewdental.net.
Hit us up on the Talkback mic. Just open up the free iHeartRadio app, listen to San Diego Sports 760, and tap that little microphone icon next to the play button to leave us a 30-second message. Ask us anything you want. Leave us a review. We're going to play it on the air here. It's San Diego Sports 760. Only available on the free iHeartRadio app. What am I talking about? The Talkback mic. Talkback. Yeah! Ow! Make them say,
This update is presented by the County of San Diego Health and Human Services Agency. Padres fall to the Angels last night 2-1. The offense could not get it going in Anaheim. 23-year-old Adam Mazur has been called up to the Padres. He's going to make his major league debut tonight against the Angels. Sticking with the Padres, Tucupita Marcano facing a lifetime ban from the MLB after betting on Pirates games last year while he was with Pittsburgh, and he was injured with a torn ACL. And then the breaking news from yesterday out of the NFL, Vikings and Justin Jefferson reaching an agreement on a 4-year, $140 million contract, 110 of that guaranteed. Children of diverse backgrounds need and deserve a safe, loving, nurturing, accepting, and consistent place to live where they can thrive and mature. Any individual, couple, or family can be eligible to become a resource family. Visit sdcares4kids.com.
Out of touch, out of time. Darryl Hall, June 16th. I'm out of touch. I'm out of time. When you're out of my head, when I'm not around.
I'm out of touch. She's out of time.
Costco's Credit Union Amphitheater or right here live on Big Rich TD and Fletch. Ticketmaster.com for deets and seats.
Does your wife like Sarah Smiles, the song?
No, she hates it.
Oh, really?
Smiles.
I think that's my favorite Hall & Oates song.
It's a
Sarah
good
Smiles?
song.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's good. It's a banger.
There are two-part harmonies. I would,
Oh, dude.
I would put it up against maybe anybody. I celebrate their entire catalog.
I saw this cover band in Vegas one time that was just playing at a bar and taking requests from the crowd, and somebody requested Sarah Smiles, and I'm not kidding you guys. This was like the greatest live performance of a single song I've ever seen.
Wow.
You could tear the roof off a building if you can if you can land Hall & Oates. Now, if you screw it up,
Mm,
if you're trying to make some dreams come
Right,
true, you could make some nightmares.
yeah. I mean, I would say that's the same with all the biggie, like Adele. You're gonna go pull Adele out.
You better.
Remember when we saw that happen?
Yes.
Okay, listen.
That's why I bring it up.
Perfect segue. Some people are delusional, right?
Yes.
Some people, they have a sense about themselves that maybe they shouldn't have.
Mm-hmm.
They'll trumpet their talents a little bit more than they should.
Well, they believe.
Yeah.
They believe that they're better than what they actually are.
100%. And there are people, I mean, look, they walk amongst us.
He's sitting right here.
Well, not very many
Okay.
of these. Okay.
That
So
never happens.
well, so listen, that may be true, but your self-awareness is what separates you from the pack. The fact that you're able to point it out, you're like, yeah, I do stink. It is me.
Turns out it's me.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. But you're rare. You are a rare bird, Fletch. I mean, God, we do not give you enough credit. I've never met anybody like you in my life, and I love it. I love it so much. But you know what? I hate it. I have to be honest with you. I really, really disliked what we heard last night, or yesterday, I should say, from Angel Reese. So this is Kennedy Carter's teammate on the Chicago Sky, another first-round draft pick in the WNBA's draft that just occurred recently. The WNBA season is underway. If you've missed any of this, I'm sure you may have. Not a lot of people still interested in the WNBA, but this has gone viral on social media. Kennedy Carter, off-ball foul, hard foul on Caitlin Clark that was increased from a common foul to a flagrant after the fact. And Kennedy Carter defended herself. And then, of course, you had Angel Reese defending her teammate. Here's what Angel Reese had to say about the WNBA overall, though. The health of the league, the reason why people are watching. Give this a listen.
Okay. Is it because of her as well that we're watching the WNBA?
No.
It is not.
No.
It is not. As much as you want it to be, and it's, you know what? Maybe you're a great addition to when people tune in to the WNBA and they go, "Oh wow, there's some more stars here." But I'm sorry, the reason people are turning on the WNBA at this moment is because of Caitlin Clark.
Correct. Now, I will say, like, Angel Reese is 98% wrong here, not 100% wrong. Because if there was a villain in college basketball last year to Caitlin Clark's superhero, it was Angel Reese. But it was never, that was rarely the conversation because they weren't playing each other all that often. You know what I mean? And so it was Caitlin Clark was drawing the eyeballs to college basketball a year ago. Angel Reese was also a phenomenal college basketball player, and she's really good now as well. But if there was a villain to Angel Clark or to Caitlin Clark superstar, it was Angel Reese a year ago. So that is the only part of her statement that kind of makes sense.
I'm going to read you some names, and then I'm going to explain to you why I'm reading these names. John Starks, Kwame Brown, Reggie Miller, Will Perdue, Gary Payton, Stacey King, Robert Parrish, the entirety of the Detroit Pistons during this era, Bill Laimbeer, Isaiah Thomas. Are any of those people the reason why people turned on basketball during the 90s?
Are those the bad boy Pistons?
The bad boy Pistons.
Yeah,
Okay,
right,
so
yeah.
they were going up against Michael Jordan.
Right,
Correct.
right,
So all of these guys were villains of Michael. All of them.
right.
Isaiah Thomas, top of the list, but then you filter down Reggie Miller, huge name. I mean, some of these, Bill Laimbeer forever, Robert Parrish. Look, there are incredible players who are stars, but they aren't the star.
So those guys who are all famous, a lot of Hall of Famers on that list you just read, became that way because of Michael Jordan.
Michael Jordan saved basketball.
Like, we would have never heard of them and the Bad Boy Pistons had it not been for their treatment of Michael Jordan.
100%.
What was the Russian's name in Rocky IV?
It was Ivan Drago.
Ivan Drago. I couldn't remember.
Liar.
I couldn't.
You knew it.
I couldn't remember. I'm not being dumb. I was actually asking the question because I couldn't remember because he's the villain.
Yeah. Yeah. Look, I mean, Apollo Creed, iron sharpens iron, right? You know, there is that old look, you need something to rub up against to hone the point, to hone the blade, to hone the edge. There's no question about that. You need to have opponents, but there are stars and then there are also rants. All of the names on this list who played villain to Michael Jordan also rants. I mean, greats, Hall of Famers, like you mentioned, Fletch. The list is littered with them. However, Michael Jordan saved basketball. Caitlin Clark is saving the WNBA. Angel Reese is an also ran. Angel Reese also played during the time of Caitlin Clark.
And I almost feel bad for saying this, but we would not have heard of Angel Reese had it not been for Caitlin Clark.
Correct.
Right.
She would have just been another women's college basketball player who was pretty good.
And I don't know if Caitlin Clark's saving the WNBA. I mean, I know that they've been operating in the red for, I think it's entirety. However, this is the first time in the WNBA's history for myself that I'm talking about the WNBA.
Yeah.
This is
careful, they're trying
to
cancel people who are talking about the WNBA right now.
I know, I understand
They
that.
get some media coverage,
but
and now all of a sudden, no, don't talk about us.
This is the first time that I have ever watched more than 30 seconds of the WNBA.
Listen, actually, to your point, Fletch, yeah, there are people who are stepping into on landmines here because they're they're fronting like they were there the whole time. I think that's the big pushback for a lot of women who have covered, or a lot of journalists who aren't women, who are men as well, or whoever who have covered this sport for a long time, saying, where were all of you when? Well, we're here to tell you, we were nowhere to be found because we didn't find the league interesting in the least bit. We didn't. In fact, we've started to adjust how much attention we pay to the WNBA because the tail wags the dog here. Look, we're going to talk about the things that our listeners and the people on Twitter and the people who listen to this show and respond to things that we discuss, what they respond to and resonates with them. This is a hot button issue. People are fired up about Caitlin Clark. There are certain people who are fired up about Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese, Kennedy Carter, who haven't even watched any of these games.
Right.
I've watched minutes of the WNBA this season, to be perfectly transparent, and I didn't enjoy it. I still don't really like women's college basketball, but it is irrefutable that Caitlin Clark is the reason why this sport is on top right now.
I agree 100%, and I'm the same way. The only minutes I've watched, though, have included Caitlin Clark. That's the only minutes I've watched. By the way, Angel Reese, I want you there. Kennedy Carter, I want you there. I want you to be the villain. I want you to push back against Caitlin Clark. I don't want Caitlin Clark to come in and just run the show. I want there to be competition. Just in anything I'm watching, in anything I'm involved in sports, I want there to be competition. So bring it on. I'm down with that. But let's not fool ourselves and say, no, people are tuning in for me.
No. Yeah, Angel, I promise you, 20 years from now, when you look back on your career and you do the whole retrospective that you're discussing, you're going to probably think to yourself, thank God there was a Caitlin Clark. And thank God I played in the era of Caitlin Clark. And hopefully, in your case, Caitlin Clark actually becomes what she's supposed to become, which is like the prodigal son of the WNBA, or the prodigal daughter.
Otherwise, all these eyeballs go away.
They're gone.
Text line fired up this morning, 760. Love the NFL countdown clock. Keep that going. 92 days, 17 hours, 18 minutes, 23 seconds. We will keep you updated on that. 619, let Travis to start doing the San Diego Sports Radio singing jingle with the WKRP in Cincinnati theme song. Do you know that?
WKRP in Cincinnati.
Is that actually it?
Yes.
Why do you know that?
You didn't watch that show?
He knows a lot.
615. I love Travis's singing. He sounds like a combination of Fergie and Jesus.
Thank you.
913. Caitlin has such a dedicated fan base from Iowa. They will tune in to every single game, and they never would have otherwise.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's a sensation, man. I don't even know what to really compare it to.
It's like nothing we've ever seen in women's sports.
Especially because it's not like she's lighting it up.
No. Listen, don't get me wrong. This storyline will fade if she does not become what she's destined or she's been foretold to become. But if she does, then this is going to be sticky. People have interest, and I don't know what that means. I don't know how that translates to ratings year over year over year, but right now they're having a moment. The WNBA is having a moment. And the problem for a lot of these players is they're kind of taking this moment and they're throwing their hands up and saying, well, we've been here the whole time. It's like, okay, good.
Cool.
That's good. So you've done all the work. So now let us watch and enjoy it. Don't yell at us for not being there. Embrace us for having any interest in you at all.
And create such a phenomenal product that when I tune in, I go, oh, what the heck? I've been missing this the whole time?
Exactly. Nobody should be mad that kids are waiting on sidelines at Fever games to take pictures with Caitlin Clark. Or, by the way, at all these opposing venues that she's visiting, they should be clapping and applauding her from across the court, because guess what? You are now being warmed by the glow of the sun. It just showed up in your solar system. It's creating its own gravity. Start orbiting her. Don't try to shove her out into oblivion, because then you're going to lose all the light.
Who did Caitlin Clark lose to in the championship game? Was it UConn this year?
It was UConn.
So remember the UConn head coach right after the game when she's literally on the championship podium thanked Caitlin Clark for bringing the attention to women's basketball, and that she was going to do the same thing to the WNBA. It's weird now that everyone is pushing back on her. You mentioned taking your moment and taking it by just storm and realizing that you're in it and you want to grab it and you want to be good at it. That's exactly what the three of us did when we got our moment from SDFatLoss.com.
Right.
We were told, look, this is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for you boys. You can either continue on this fat road you've been walking,
super fat,
or you can turn around and make a difference in your life and lose 35 plus pounds in the course of 2 months' time. And that's exactly what the three of us did. We seized our moment, which is very fitting for today's show. I want you to seize your moment today. So get on over to SDFatLoss.com. Mention Big Rich, TD and Fletch. You're going to save $200 when you sign up, and you can see the results on the three of us. All three of us losing 35 plus pounds in 2 months' time. That's all it took for us. And it was alarming at times how fast the weight was falling off.
Yes.
But you realize when we were starting at such a high starting point that the weight falling off as quickly as it did, it was only natural. And that's the best part about SDFatLoss.com. You are going to lose weight the natural way, and you're going to do it without the drugs that you see all the commercials about. You're going to do it without these prescriptions that have God knows what side effects. You're going to do it the natural way. Wayne and Chloe will coach you through the whole thing. They were our weight loss coaches. They will be yours as well. SDFatLoss.com. Mention Big Rich, TD, and Fletch when you sign up. You save $200. Get on over there today and realize that in 2 months when you're sitting out by the pool, you are going to look a lot better. SDFatLoss.com. What do we got coming up next?
Thick thighs.
Again?
That's the theme. It's Thick Thigh Week here on Big Rich, TD, and Fletch.
No, we have a scandal that's rocking baseball now, and it hits close to home. That's next. Big Rich, TD, and Fletch, we're all doomed. AI has announced that AI will destroy humanity.
It's a 70% chance
Yeah,
now.
so we got that going for
it's
us.
not a hundo.
Which
I mean,
is
it may already
good.
have.
We're living in the 30% where we believe that this show will never be replaced by AI.
Or has it already?
There is no other explanation for Travis Dale.
Are
I'm
you
sorry.
guys sure that we're actually on camera?
Well, you're not currently. Can you plug it in?
Is
Well,
that true? It's not
It
a
is
beast
plugged
thing.
in.
It is
Come
plugged
on,
in.
come
And the
on.
lights on.
You're a
Yeah,
black
the
screen.
lights on. Everything's working
This is
here.
crazy.
Except the camera.
Except
Thanks,
the
AI.
camera.
You know what? It was AI. I heard you talking about it.
Yeah. Well, I'm done, AI.
Yeah.
I love everything artificial.
I'm just going to go
including
to X and see what they're
intelligence.
showing.
Oh, actually, my camera may actually be broken.
Mhm.
So
Nice.
we're gonna use the laptop camera. Anyways, look,
92 days, 17 hours, 6 minutes, 2 seconds.
Right on. Right around the corner.
AI cannot replace football.
no,
Yep.
no, don't say it.
Actually, I mean, like robots would be pretty sick to watch
That's
play
what I'm saying.
football.
Like if it battle bots, but it's football.
So we got to get to this one. Maybe AI can help. Like maybe AI, maybe you can train AI if you're a sports book like BetMGM or DraftKings or any of these sports books that allow people to sports bet. And by the way, which is legal in whatever it is, 30 states, 30 plus states, you're allowed to bet on sports on your phone
Not this one.
if you're within the state. Yeah, we're not allowed in
Right,
California. Not
right.
yet. So there's a infielder in the Padres system called Tucupita Marcano, who's facing a potential lifetime ban for betting on games while he was a member of the Pittsburgh Pirates. He did this last season while recovering from an ACL. There's a rule in Major League Baseball called Rule 21 that explicitly states that a player who bets on games involving his own team is subject to a lifetime ban. So,
Whoops.
yeah.
Here's what I'm confused about.
You're-
Tucupita Marcano was on the Padres like
Mhm.
3 years ago. I remember he got playing time, and then he was off the Padres and went to the Pirates, and that's where this betting thing happened. I didn't know he was back on the Padres.
I did not know that either. I did not know that that was the case
But
either.
then I see all these headlines yesterday. Padres infielder Tucupita Marcano. I'm like, well, he's not on the team.
No.
So he was claimed off waivers with a torn ACL?
I believe so. I believe he was claimed while injured. I think I faintly remember us making fun of this story because it's like AJ Preller seeks out
He falls in love with his prospects,
Yeah.
and then he goes back and gets
Right.
them no matter what.
and seeks out injured players. It's like, what's that? You got a bum leg? Get over here. Get over here.
It's, I
We're
feel
gonna
like
trade a washing machine for you.
yeah, I feel like we went home and went, "Hey, honey, I bought a new car. What is it? It's a 65 Oldsmobile. It doesn't run,
Yeah.
but it's cool."
The original owner actually showed me that it still has the original spare tire in the trunk. Isn't that
Hasn't
neat?
been touched.
I mean, but the tires don't move, so I had to have it dropped on a flatbed truck because they seized up.
It's never been smoked in.
It's a little grocery getter. Anyways, we're going to spend a lot of money getting that running. Yeah, well, anyways, Marcano, he didn't play a single moment of baseball for the Padres.
It looks like he's not gonna.
And it looks like it's so there's other minor league players being investigated facing potential discipline for betting as well. Even if players in the minor leagues are on a 40-man roster, they would face a 1-year suspension for betting on minor league games, according to Rule 21. So this extends down to the minors. If you're a Major League Baseball player, if you're an NFL player, if you're an NHL player, if you're an NBA player, my thought would be maybe just don't bet on sports
Unless you have an interpreter.
Yeah, right, a fall guy.
That's right. Unless you have an interpreter and you can convince him to answer all of the questions that federal investigators ask
Right.
to clear your
Right.
name, and then later on you will be broken off.
Yeah, I would say I would err on the side of caution on this as well and not bet on anything. And just, while you're playing, when you're done playing, bet on whatever you want.
By the way, MLB continues to investigate Ohtani's former teammate with the Los Angeles Angels, David Fletcher, for betting on sports with the same illegal bookmaker who took wagers from Mitsuhara
No relation?
during that whole
No.
situation.
Sure.
Are you sure?
You're sure?
I was
There's-
about to ask the
There's a
same
lot of Fletchers, not a single David. There's a Ryan, there's a
There's
Scott,
no
there's a Keith.
David. There's absolutely no
Not
David.
on my side.
Okay. All right.
Wait, so on your mom's Fletcher side?
Wait, your mom's last name was Fletcher too?
No, his last name is Barber.
Okay. All right. We're going to look her up.
No
Okay.
Davids though. No Davids in my immediate family. One of my
Wow.
best buddies is named David, but his last name's Alexander, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. You know what?
But he change it when he got married?
Case closed, MLB.
No relation to Ben Fletcher. David Fletcher.
I
God, give it a
absolutely
bad
love
name to
Listen,
all us Fletchers.
Here's the tricky thing about this, and this is one thing that stuck out to me about this story. When you really read like the opening paragraph of the article, who ratted on Marcano?
Right.
The sports book.
Yeah.
So check this out. These sports
Yeah.
books, they are paying for legitimacy. These sports books are paying tens of millions, hundreds of millions of dollars for legitimacy. They cannot have their name sullied because they have players betting on their own sport.
Narcs.
So exactly.
Well, yeah.
If you are a player, you are going to get narked on by DraftKings, by BetMGM, by all these sports books, because guess what? They need to protect their brand.
Right.
So they need to rat you
Like,
out.
imagine back in the day before like marijuana was legal in California, like you get your marijuana from your one sketchy friend, and then that one sketchy friend goes and tells the cops that you bought marijuana from him. That's what's going on here, sports books.
Yeah, a little bit.
Well,
A little bit. And then it's gonna go, then this is gonna go worldwide. And then who knows? Maybe players are gonna be able to bet on themselves, and we're gonna go back and say, hey, that Jonte Porter, he wasn't so bad. Telling people that, he was gonna have under his stats, and then he was gonna leave games with poked eyes and stuff.
If that does happen where players can ever bet on themselves, then there will be no sport that is legitimate.
No,
Yeah,
it'll all be
it's
pro
over.
wrestling.
Yeah.
That'll be the end of
Which
sport,
I don't mind.
which ties right back to AI. The world's coming to an end anyways. Let's enjoy it while we're here. All right.
Fine.
Hour number 2, Big Rich, TD, and Fletch. This update presented by the California Department of Healthcare Access and Information. Padres fall to the Angels last night 2-1 as the offense could not get it going in Anaheim. 23-year-old Adam Mazur has been called up to the Padres. He's going to make his major league debut tonight against the Angels. Sticking with the Padres, Tucupita Marcano facing a lifetime ban after betting on Pirates games last year. When he was with the Pirates, he was not on the Padres when this happened. He was also injured with a torn ACL. Breaking news out of the NFL yesterday morning, Vikings and Justin Jefferson reached an agreement on the highest non-quarterback contract in history, 4 years, $140 million, including $110 guaranteed. Certified wellness coaches can help your school or community meet increased demands for youth mental health services and make a difference in young lives. Learn about hiring a certified wellness coach at cawellnesscoach.org, supported by the California Department of Healthcare Access and Information.
It's Big Rich, TD, and Fletch on San Diego Sports 760.
They extend the road trip now to Anaheim, where they'll face the Angels coming up 6:38 p.m. first pitch. Don't miss it. Don't be 2 minutes late. If you tune in at 6:40, you will have missed potentially the first homer of the game. Who knows?
Yeah, why do they do that?
Irredeemably stupid.
6:38 exactly.
Yeah, I don't know.
You must think I'm pretty stupid.
Why do they make a 6:38 first pitch with a peak?
Don't know.
So yeah,
I
that's
don't know why that pisses me off, but it pisses me off.
Now, here are the guys.
Welcome to the show, Big Rich, TD, and Fletch. Happy Tuesday to those who celebrate. Lots to chew on already this morning. A lot of things we'll return to. We talked a little WNBA. That's been a hot topic. Major League Baseball in full swing, no pun intended, but we're 60 games plus into the season, so we're starting to make some headway there.
Third of the way.
NFL, there's been headlines that we've brushed up against, but the NBA has laid dormant now since the end of the Western Conference Final, where the Mavs beat out the Minnesota Timberwolves. And when you look at this presumptive champion, the Boston Celtics, there's a lot of people, and I say presumptive because they're the betting favorite. There's a lot of people.
I got Mavs.
You got Mavs?
Yeah, because I hate prohibitive betting favorites.
Yeah,
I don't like it
I'm
either.
an underdog boy. I like Luka.
People like dogs. I mean, it's and this is a likable dog, and that's kind of the point.
Because of Luka.
Well, and Kyrie.
Who it
Right.
is weird when you put likable and Kyrie in the same sentence, but I get it now.
Yes.
As of like yesterday.
I mean, is Luka the best player out there on the court?
Luka, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
But do I still feel like that's where the winning team lies? No. I mean, I still would probably lean towards the favorite here. I think Boston wins this thing. But as time goes on, as we're sitting here stagnant, nothing happening, I do start to break down the Mavs and go, maybe they got a shot here.
Well, I look at Luka, his performance so far this season, or I should really concentrate on the postseason because he's been dominant and impressive this postseason, where he leads almost all of the stats. He's tops in points, he's tops in free throw percentage. What was it? It was 3-pointers made, field goals made. I liked a tweet a little while ago. I'll go back and find it because it was an impressive list. Here we go. Go to my likes, scroll down.
He's been great. And Colin Cowherd went on this big thing yesterday talking about the difference between Luka and Jason Tatum, who Jason Tatum's the best star on the Celtics. And he was like, if I'm ranking the best players in the series, Jason Tatum might not be until third because of Luka and Kyrie.
Yeah, Kyrie's been tremendous too. He's been clutch through their many of their series so far. But yeah, Luka Doncic is the playoff leader in points, rebounds, assists, steals, field goals made, 3-pointers made, and free throws made.
God dang.
So, I mean, he is in just about every tangible stat category is dominating this postseason. I mean, and don't get me wrong, like when we start saying leader in points, well, sometimes when you play the longest and you're really good, you're going to be the leader in points. I get that too, but he's outpaced everybody all along the way also. So it hasn't just been this late surge. He's been great consistently through the postseason. This could be his moment. But what's interesting is the reason why the Mavs are likable isn't just Luka Doncic. It has a lot to do with Kyrie Irving and his evolution. And
talking about flat earther?
Well, he's said a lot of things that people disagree with, and he's been a controversial character, not just for flat earth, also because
anti-vax.
well, That too, but not just because of anti-vax either. It's been because of a lot of his career decisions. When he was with the Cleveland Cavaliers, he was kind of the bellwether or the canary in the coal mine that broke up the party. He was like, yeah, I want out. I don't want to be LeBron's understudy my whole career. I want to go and do it on my own. And he went to Boston, and boy, that was a short stint. But I will say this, he was effective. He got that team to the postseason, and then he bounced out of there because he wasn't in the right headspace. And he recently was interviewed this week, and he actually said a lot about that. He goes, I know sometimes in sports, it's literally about the end goal and the result, what you accomplish. And that's one thing. But we're still humans at the end of the day. And it wasn't my best self during that time. When I look back on it, I just see a time where I learned how to let go of things and I learned how to talk through my emotions. It was just a chapter in my life that I got to enjoy for the most part. We had a great opportunity to do some special things. It was cut short based off of personal reasons on my end. That's accountability. One thing I look back on in my time in Boston, I've said this over and over the past few years, but somehow it gets tossed out under the rug. But the greatest thing I learned from Boston was just being able to manage not only my emotions, but what I learned from Boston, but going on day-to-day basis of being a leader and being one of the team's leaders. So he goes on to finish. He said some glowing things about Boston, his time in Boston. Since he's returned to Boston a couple of times, it has not gone well with the fans. The fans hate him. Kyrie Irving has shown his hatred back to them. At times, it's gotten a little fiery, but I think there's been an evolution here. The reason why I want to tie this back to the San Diego Padres is because are we being too hard on players like, I don't know, Fernando Tatis Jr., too hard on players like Manny Machado, too hard on players like Xander Bogaerts, who come in with lofty expectations and maybe have underplayed team-wise, success-wise, and maybe individual at times, their potential or what we assumed that they were going to do for this franchise because we're forgetting the human element.
The soft San Diego media being too hard on people? Because that's what we're called.
I'm asking the question. I'm not even saying necessarily I'm siding with. I'm just asking the question.
If you bought a car that was supposed to get 30 miles to the gallon, but then as you drive it around, it only gets 20. You'd go,
screw that car.
Yeah, this car sucks. This car is not what it's billed to be. I need a new car.
That's a great point.
We've purchased cars that are supposed to get 30 miles to the gallon, and they're getting about 22 right now.
Sports are so unique, like so unique, because the human element does almost go out the window. And sure, like sometimes you think about, well, if Manny Machado was driving around in the car right now, would I be saying the same thing? And the truth is, he might be. Like, he lives in San Diego, and obviously not today, he's in Anaheim, but he might be at sometimes listening to the show when we say some things about him.
And this right here, this show is your premier destination for Padres information.
But that's part of the reason why Manny Machado makes the money he makes. That's part of the reason why Kyrie Irving makes some of the money that he makes. It's because this is a lofted, expectations-driven field. And when you're not hitting those lofty expectations that you get paid to hit, sometimes you need to take a little criticism.
Well, yeah, because that paycheck is based on a past performance. That paycheck is based on what
future
numbers
expectations.
and here's the numbers you bring to the team. So when you're not bringing those numbers to the team, yeah, I feel like there's some criticism that comes out.
I don't think we've ever been hard enough on athletes.
Okay. All right. So I appreciate that. I'm going to lend context because, like I said, I'm just asking questions here. I'll unveil my opinion on all this as well in a second. But okay, so you compared it to a car. I think that's a great comparison. You make a good point. If a car is supposed to get 30 miles per gallon and it gets 20, well, there's something wrong with that car, and the blame starts going like, well, I think this car stinks, or at least I've been lied to. I've been sold a bill of goods. It's a lemon, maybe. I don't know, but I want some retribution here.
Right.
I want to feel like I'm made whole because the promise has not delivered in actuality. And to your point, Fletch, like, yeah, in San Diego for years, it kind of has felt like a lot of players have gotten a free pass, whereas in other markets, there has been stronger criticism delivered at the doorsteps of players. But I'm going to ask this question. So personalize it and take athleticism out of it. Like, imagine your dad or your uncle or a close friend is an underperforming manager in a corporation, right? and numbers aren't good, and they're under pressure from the tippy top of the organization to make the numbers look better. And it's environmental. Like, maybe they're in the ads business, and it's like, well, people just aren't buying ads. We're lurching out of COVID times, and like we're trying our hardest to sell, but my goodness, like, what can I do? I can't go out there and scare up all the business myself. Like, I have to depend on my salespeople, and things have been going dry lately. So what do? You're forced to make cuts. So all of a sudden, you're the person who's laying down the hammer and firing people to make the bottom line work for your bosses overhead. Now, there's going to be a lot of people who hate your guts. But at the end of the day, does that make you a bad person, or does it mean that you're the person responsible? When it comes to athletes, I sort of feel like we're always very fast to point the finger and say, Kyrie Irving, you did not deliver on your promise. And we don't include any context. Like, maybe he didn't feel comfortable in Boston from the jump. Maybe it wasn't a good fit in that locker room. Maybe the coaches were using him differently than they promised him when they were talking about signing him either in trade or free agency. I forget how he got to Boston, but signing him in the first place. And maybe he felt like that they got started on the wrong foot. And all of that is unbeknownst to us from a public standpoint, but very much so internally, it's being debated and discussed. I guess my point is, what we don't know, we don't know. And when we're talking about athletes, sometimes I feel like we're talking about them like their cars or like their computers or like their machines, like their robots. And meanwhile, we miss all this context about them, where later on, Kyrie, in an honest moment here leading into the finals, is like, yeah, I was going through some stuff in Boston and people don't know about it. And I've tried to explain it to people and people don't seem to care.
Yeah, I get that part of it. But like, let's take baseball. Baseball, when Manny Machado walks up to the plate, that's on Manny. You get the hit. That's it. You don't have to worry about the team. You are a professional athlete. You are paid to clear the mechanism and
by
go out.
The 42,000 people watching you at that bat and all the millions of people at home watching you go up to that at bat, which is why I think those people who are paying the money have a fair shot to criticize.
Yeah. I guess. I mean, you're criticizing it because you're a fan and you're asked to be a fan and you're asked to follow this team almost blindly. We talk about it being a religion in some cases. I mean, yeah, people love their teams. People love their hometown team. People want to root. People want to wear the jerseys. They want to buy the tickets. They want to go see them win. And when you purchase a player, when you pay the money to a player who's supposed to be performing and they're not performing, that to me is the same as you have, you take your pitch here, Rich. You are an ad salesman or an ad manager. When you hire a salesman because of their track record of how great they are as a salesperson, and then they come on board and, man, they don't go out and prospect. They don't go knock on doors. They don't make the phone calls. They're not closing deals. This is not the guy I hired. Yeah. It's probably time to let him go.
Yeah. There's also a perspective you have, Rich, that it's impossible for TD and I to even wrap our heads around, because you've done it as a job, right? Like, for the rest of us, we see it as like the tippy top of the mountain. But for you, I'm sure it felt like sometimes it was punching the clock, and you didn't want to be at training camp, but you had to go because it was a job. That might be how Kyrie feels about playing in Boston. He might have thought of it as a job, walking into work every day. But that's not fair for him to look at all the fans and feel the criticism, because the fans don't see it as a job. They see it as a privilege. And I promise you, like, that's where I am. I see it as a privilege to play in the NFL, NBA, MLB, NHL, WNBA. It doesn't matter. You get to play a game for a living and you get paid very, very well for that game.
Well, and part of the job requirements when you accept the job, when you sign the contract, is there's going to be a lot of outside influences and a lot of outside forces and things that may get in your head. But because you're a professional athlete, you're going to eject those from your brain and go out there and perform.
I live in both worlds, and I appreciate your candor and specifically your viewpoint, because I think a lot of people share your viewpoints. Like, it is an end results business. And when you're a fan of a team, you're not really worried about what's going on at home with Manny Machado or Brandon Ayuk, receiver for the San Francisco 49ers, or Joe Burrow, quarterback for the Cincinnati Bengals, or Aaron Judge, a three-hitter for the New York Yankees. Like, you're there to see them do amazing things. Like, that's what you signed up for when you bought the ticket. And so, yeah, you sort of put away all of your whatever it is. I mean, maybe you didn't have the money to buy that ticket. I mean, you still bought it. You still went. Maybe you're having a fight with your in-laws and it's having an impact on your life. Well, you're showing up for those players. So the thought process is, well, these players need to show up for me too. Yeah, look, everybody lives their life and have a galaxy of emotions going on and a million different things happening to them throughout the course of their day. But whether it's, being a good dad or being a good worker or being a good friend or whatever relationship we're discussing or whatever thing you're doing, you kind of have to be able to compartmentalize and operate. If you can't, you're not going to be an active member of society. So I actually agree with you. What you're saying, I was asking the question because I thought it was very revealing what Kyrie Irving said. And I think it does stir up some of those thoughts in my mind. Like, yeah, even as a former player turned fan of the game I used to play, and I've always been a fan of the NBA. I've always been a fan of baseball, less so until later in my life. But the point I'm trying to make is like, yeah, they're not robots, but there are expectations. And the unfortunate reality is whether Manny Machado is having a hard time being a new dad or Fernando Tatis Jr. is still feeling some sort of way about the suspension that he endured and the time that he missed out, being able to celebrate and pop champagne as a contributor to a playoff team, or whatever may be happening in these guys' lives, injuries that they're working through, nagging things that we're not even aware of. Somebody may show up one day and strain their calf and they'll never show up on the IL, and it'll be a season-long injury that's bugging them the entire year. We'll never know about it, but we will say, gosh, he stinks on the base path.
Right.
He got thrown out at second again.
Right.
And it's just like, yeah, but why? Maybe he's a half a step slower and he's trusting himself to get there and he can't get there.
Yeah. No, that's all true.
But at the same token, it's an end results business. And if you don't show up with the stuff, if you don't show up with the goods, you're going to be castigated for it because, to your point, Fletch, you get paid handsomely when you're playing professional sports.
I do think there's a flip side, and we can use a Padre as an example here because, I feel like Joe Musgrove, even when he struggles, he gets a little bit more of a pass because you know that he's bleeding brown and gold. He is fully bought in, and he is maybe the moral compass or the culture compass of this team.
Because he doesn't feel so much like a mercenary.
Right. He feels homegrown, even though he's not, but he was born in San Diego. He loves the Padres. You could tell every single time he talks, whether he's talking about the Dodgers and he says F them Dodgers on a live stream and it gets picked up on a hot mic. That's one of the most iconic moments in Joe Musgrove's career. Or it's the way he plays and the way he pitches when he's in the playoffs. You could see on his face the emotion that he has. And I don't know that you always get that from everybody. I know for a fact Boston fans did not get that out of Kyrie. It almost seemed like he was the mercenary who came in and was supposed to be great. So it's different from player to player. And I do think Joe Musgrove might get a little bit more of a pass with this injury. Hell, he might not be back till halfway through July. But guess what? When he comes back, he's going to have the full support. Where do you feel the same way about Xander Bogaerts when he comes back? Is he going to get the same support from Padres fans? And has Xander Bogaerts ever had one of those moments, whether it's at a locker or during a game, where you can see the emotion on his face with how much he loves this team in this town?
I got to tell you, there are moments that I forget Xander's on the team.
Bingo.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, because you're not out there performing where you're standing up and out of the spotlight or in the spotlight to where I notice you. You kind of lose yourself in the fray here.
By the way, 50% of the time we get it with Manny Machado. I've seen moments where Manny Machado is the guy. He is the Padre on the team. And I think back to the NLDS game that they won in the locker room after the game. Manny Machado's getting doused in champagne. He's talking about how much he loves this team. And he's pouring beer all over himself. And it was awesome. That was a moment where Manny Machado was a Padre. He was the Padre for a moment. But then there's times where he's not.
And I think you can pick whatever player you want as your favorite player on the Padres. The fact of the matter is, Manny Machado is the weather vane of this team.
Yeah.
He's the weather vane of this team. And if everything's looking good and he's feeling good and playing well, the team is playing well.
Yeah, overall this season, I think it tracks, because think about last year, kind of a down year for Manny Machado, and it was a very middling year for the Padres overall. This year so far, down year so far for Manny Machado, very middling year for the Padres. 2022, great year for Machado, great year for the Padres. Emotionally, I think more so than even his play, emotionally, he's the weather vane for the Padres. Look, the role players are doing the best they can, but this city, this team depends on Manny Machado's emotions in order to have success, it seems. And I understand that's a hefty weight to bear, but that's the weight of that contract. That's the weight of that relationship you had with Peter Seidler and the trust he put in you and the quote unquote leadership role that you were supposed to imbue when you signed that contract that we really have yet to see, I guess, to the level that many expected we'd see it.
Yeah, without a doubt. Some people call him a man eater.
Okay, that's it.
What?
That was, dude, that was such a solid segment of sports talk.
Manny
we
Machado,
involved three different sports in the same segment.
Watch out, boys, he'll chew you up.
And then we get to the point where we can really drive it home.
Man eater.
And TD does that.
Daryl Hall, June 18th show, Calco's Credit Union Amphitheater. Don't call now. Call in 2 minutes, 7:28.
I gotta take a lap.
You can check out Ticketmaster for Ticketmaster.com for deets and seats. But in the meantime, be caller number 5 at exactly 7:28. Whether you're listening to us on the app or terrestrially here on the radio, we appreciate it.
We blew through morning monologues. Can we do it next? Because I have one that's going to piss TD off.
Okay, we have morning monologue coming up next. We've got Fletch pissing off TD, and we've got an athlete not helping themselves. That's on the other side.
San Diego Sports 760 and iHeartRadio present our 2024 iHeartRadio Music Festival, the biggest music event of the year. Legendary performances from the biggest names in music and once-in-a-lifetime collaborations. And the complete lineup for this year's show is out now, and you could win tickets before they go on sale. Everything you need to know happening right now, all the time, every single day. That's how we do it. Yeah, we stand on business. Another once-in-a-lifetime music event from iHeartRadio, and San Diego Sports 760. Woo! Ow! Yeah! Ah!
This update is presented by California Department of Healthcare Access and Information. Padres fall to the Angels last night 2-1 as the offense could not get it going in Anaheim. 23-year-old Adam Mazur has been called up to the Pods. He's going to make his Major League debut tonight against the Angels. Sticking with the Padres, Tucupita Marcano facing a lifetime ban in Major League Baseball after betting on Pirates games last year while he was with the Pittsburgh Pirates, not with the Padres. He was also injured at the time with a torn ACL when all of this was going down. Mental health, social work, and child welfare professionals step into the role of a certified wellness coach and help children and youth lead happier, healthier lives. Learn more at cawellnesscoach.org, supported by California Department of Healthcare Access and Information.
Bigger Steedy and Fletch, San Diego Sports 760.
What's going on?
Nothing. We're just excited about Fernando Tatis Jr.
So this soundproof room
Yeah.
is less soundproof now that we broke the door.
Yeah.
And during my updates, every once in a while, I hear some of what's going on.
You heard this in the background.
Oh, Nando.
That's what you heard.
How do you feel about that?
Really good. Really good.
Oh, Nando.
But that's just, what we exclaim when something really cool is happening. Doesn't have to necessarily.
It has actually
nothing to do with Fernando Tatis Jr.
I mean, it couldn't be farther from Fernando Tatis Jr. What we were exclaiming Nando about. It's just become a part of our common parlance over here at Big Rich, TD, and Flesh.
It could have been Darren Waller and his now follow-up to his other video.
Did you watch that? Did you watch the follow-up video?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I did too.
I haven't seen it yet. Is it just as bad as the first one?
I cannot wait to play for you now.
If you were at a wedding maybe and then some goofy drunk dude came in and started singing this, you'd go, that was kind of fun.
Yeah.
But when you release it out of seriousness, dumb.
I feel like we have to save the best for last. So we're going to save Fletch for last here. I can't wait to hear his. I'm always curious what direction TD is going to go. Rarely sports for the monologue.
Well, it just depends on what's happening in my life.
Like 70s video games for the most part.
So
you think? That's not today.
Fletch tipped me off as to what his was going to be about. And I don't know what yours is. So I'm going to hover around sports, just sort of in the neighborhood of sports.
Edmonton Oilers?
I will say this. Mine's in two parts. Okay, so one, I love fans of anything. I think that being fanatical about something, what comes with that package is passion. And I'm attracted to passion. I really am. When somebody is passionate about something, it doesn't matter what it is. If they can get excited about it and they happen to be a good communicator of that excitement, I can get excited about it. So this is true with art. I mean, I've walked around museums with people who know art better than I do. And then you sort of get lost in this privilege you have being with somebody who's passionate about art. And like, I've done it with architecture. I have a sister-in-law who's really into interior design. I've walked around houses with her and she'll explain how this happens and textures and colors. Like, it's beautiful when you're around passionate people. That's how I feel about the WNBA. I don't have a passion for the WNBA. I don't watch women's basketball, but I appreciate passion. And all of a sudden, there is this discovered interest, passion for this sport, and I'm enjoying it. I really am. Now, I don't enjoy the sport yet, but I do enjoy the passion. And look, this is a public service announcement to any WNBA player who happens to be listening to this program today. Don't ruin it. Don't ruin it. Mm-hmm. This is your opportunity. Seize it, because there are more people passionate about this sport than ever before.
Breaking news.
Oh, boy.
Officially official. It was alleged at the beginning of the show. It is official now. Tucupita Marcano officially gets the lifetime ban from Major League Baseball for betting. They have permanently banned him after determining that the infielder placed hundreds of bets on baseball, including wagers on games involving the Pirates when he was with the team last season.
Yikes.
Back to your morning monologues, TD.
Well, okay. Congratulations.
Yeah.
To Tucupita Marcano?
Yeah. I mean, look, was he going to get any other title?
No.
That's just
he now joins Pete Rose.
Well, that's what I'm saying. He's in an elite class.
And Jonte Porter, the Toronto Raptors superstar, who left the game with a poked eye because he was going to have less on points that night.
Right.
Yeah, listen, I guess I'll land this plane talking about the passion. Oh, Nando. The passion of fans with the Edmonton Oilers girl. Like, listen,
passionate.
Am I an Edmonton Oilers fan?
I am now.
No.
But are you frantically searching who this person is?
100%, because I'm attracted to passion.
Do we still not have a name?
We still don't have a name.
That's bizarre.
A mystery.
Trust me, I woke up early.
In the world of 2024, like, how long did it take us to track down the plane girl?
Oh, dude, no time at all.
Right.
Yeah,
it was Tiffany Gomez 2 days later.
Gosh, she said she was coming on the show and then vanished. We got ghosted. Listen, when you talk about passion, this actually came up because I was using this in my home and went, God, this is so much better. I may have brought this up once before. Honey from the bear is so much better.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
so much better.
You have brought this up, and this is a commonplace.
From the jar. I don't want to use a wand or a spoon or try to pour it out of the jar. I just want to turn it upside down. I just want to turn it upside down and squeeze. That's all I want to do.
I love passion.
Yeah, I love passion, and I love honey from a bear.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Tiffany Gomez and the Oilers girl. There's a side-by-side.
They do look very similar.
Hang on. I'm going to show this
Wait,
to
is Tiffany Gomez back?
is that
I have her email. I can ask.
Okay.
I don't think so.
All right, hang on. And then I'm just going to show you this for good measure. This is who
You,
we're
gotta-
looking
you
at.
have, you
I've seen
have to
that
have
video.
it- you have to have the control
Yes.
in order to do the experiment.
There's no question about
Right.
it. We absolutely need the control.
There are rumors that Tiffany Gomez has been replaced,
By
like since the day she was on the plane, because she looks different now. I think that
wait a minute, what?
it's not my rumor. It's
So
rumors
now,
I've seen.
now Tiffany Gomez has been replaced in life.
Yeah, by like an influencer who can go out and whatever. Not important.
Huh.
Just
Well,
a rumor.
hang
I
on.
saw.
Hang on. To get back to what you were saying, though, honey is sweeter from the bear.
I'm glad you brought up honey. It actually leads directly into my morning monologue.
Yeah.
CD, you might want to.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Dude, I can't concentrate on a single word anybody's saying right now.
Then
because
shut
I'm a-
up and be quiet. And
Jeez.
just look at boobs.
Good
I'm gonna turn my microphone off. I'm sorry.
Listen, I don't know if you know this or not, but X has decided full porn.
Oh no!
So I've been asked recently, why do you live in San Diego? Like, it's really expensive to live here. You know, you're giving up an opportunity to own a 3-bedroom, 4-bedroom house with acres of land somewhere else because you live in San Diego.
And you said it's the professional sports teams.
No.
Oh,
Team.
Here's what I said. And I honestly, the answer came full circle for me last night. In San Diego, every type of food is good. Like, you want elite
Mhm.
Mexican food, you can get it pretty easily.
mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, without
Maybe
a doubt.
Thai food, I have 3 different spots in San Diego that I love. for
Never
Thai
had
food.
it.
I
Never
found a
had
new one. Wait, what? Oh god. We'll get back to you.
This is what I'm saying. It's going to piss him off.
Okay, keep going.
Korean barbecue, I have an awesome spot up on Convoy Street that I go to once every 2 months.
Had that one time.
We went together.
That's not the spot I'm even talking about, but that spot was good too.
That's why it was good too.
Italian food in Little Italy, you can't throw a rock without hitting one. And I went to one last night in South Park. It was maybe the best Italian food I've ever had in my life. What else? The Greek food. There's one right by our apartment. In-N-Out is right by my apartment, and that's everywhere. But what I'm saying is, every type of cuisine, and the honey, by the way, I had a spicy honey Italian pizza last night.
Was it from a bear?
Oh, I don't know, but it was spicy honey. It was out of this world. TD, you are wasting the fact that you live in San Diego because you eat dino nuggies every day.
I don't. What?
Can we culture
on,
you a
I
little
don't-
bit?
I
I also
don't-
have like 5 different sushi spots. Can I
I-
take you to one of them, please, and just order for you? I want to culture your taste buds so badly.
Listen.
And you live in one of the places that has the best food in the world from every different type of cuisine, and you refuse to try any of it.
1, dino nuggets are delicious. 2, I don't eat them in their entirety. I cook them and I have to burn them just a little bit to feed my dog, who really likes dino nuggets, but I have to cut off all like the limbs, the head, the tail.
This is what I'm
and then
talking
I
about.
eat the body.
Who
That's it.
is Oilers girl? I mean, look, until we get to the bum list,
92 days, 16 hours, 16 minutes, and 4 seconds till the start of the NFL season.
Thank
TD, how'd you lose so much weight?
Well, I'll tell you what. Wade and Chloe, we first met with them. They said, "Look, your gut is thick."
Yeah.
And I said, "I know. How do I fix that?" And they go, "Well, what we're gonna do? We're gonna transfer that down to those thighs."
they took
And I was like,
they took a measuring tape
"Yeah,
and I think it was intentionally too small for us and they
I
knew it.
know. Yeah,
But you remember when they walked in here and they were just taking paper measuring tapes and they were snapping them over our bellies and our thighs and they're just like, you're far too fat. And they were
it was
speaking
tough love.
they're speaking in a French accent. I'm like, are you guys from France? And then Wayne was like, no, dude.
Are
He's
you
like,
kidding me?
I'm from Pomona. And I'm just like, what? And he was like, yeah. He doesn't talk like that. But the point is, this was an embarrassing moment for all
right,
of us.
right. Actually, we kid. Wayne and Chloe, the nicest people on planet Earth, who walked us through how to lose weight quickly, showed us how we can lose weight the healthy way because we weren't doing it the healthy way. In fact, the fat diets we were trying before we met Wayne and Chloe at SD Fat Loss, we lost some pounds, but every time we stopped the fat diet, we gained the weight right back.
Like a lot more.
A lot more. Yeah. And it came up fast. Yeah. It came up real fast.
Really did.
Right. But Wayne and Chloe, obviously, they walk you through the correct way to do this. And they set up a personalized plan for you to make sure that it's going to work for you. And if you just follow along with what they say, it works. 31 pounds in 8 weeks' time. That's how it worked for me. 35 for Rich. 45 plus for Fletch now, who's still continuing along here on this weight loss journey. It works. It makes you feel better. It makes life a little bit easier. Dropping 20, 30 pounds in 8 weeks' time. That's what you're going to do. You're going to do it without exercise. You're going to do it without counting calories. You're going to do it without having to eat some granola bar, or make a shake, or you're going to eat food you like to eat. And then the best part is you keep the weight off. And look, if you want to do some squats, if you want to make those thighs thick, you can do that too, because guess what? You're going to be a little bit leaner thanks to the folks at SD Fat Loss, sdfatloss.com. Go there right now. Free consultation is what you'll set up. And then if you mention Big Rich, TD, and Fletch, you'll also save $200. sdfatloss.com. Go there today. Yes. Ow!
sdfatloss.com, where more
than great coats.
Hey, coming up next, a former opponent of Mike Tyson wants to throw his hat into the ring and face Jake Paul. Is this a good idea, or should we just cancel this fight?
There's also a hilarious development on the Tucapita Marcano case.
Yeah. What you just whispered in my ear, if true, this is real bad news for Marcano.
It was Jeff Passan, real check mark, like real Jeff Passan. I did not get fooled.
Before.
I know, I've been fooled a lot. This is legit, and it's coming up next.
Yeah.
You wake up on a Tuesday morning, and the first thing I think is Taco Tuesday. Not because of what I'm going to eat later tonight, but because of the entries that I place on Prize Picks. It is Taco Tuesday, meaning discounts will be on the board. The first discount actually just hit the board. Jason Tatum for Thursday night's game against Dallas, game 1 of the NBA Finals. You're getting Jason Tatum for half a point. You think he's going to score more than half a point? I think I do, yes. Prize Picks is the greatest daily fantasy sports app on the planet with more than 5 million active members. Download the app today. Use promo code DOGS, DOGS. You're going to get a first deposit match up to $100.
Oh, my gosh. Look, listen to Fletch. This man's a genius. So what I did is I said, Fletch, I'm going to resist this at all costs. I don't believe you about Prize Picks. I don't believe you about most things. And then all of a sudden I downloaded the app and I signed up with promo code DOGS. And you know what happened? Something inside me changed. I was like, maybe he's onto something here. And then I started placing my lineups. And I'm like, ooh, this is fun. And then all of a sudden I start hitting on these lineups. And I mean, in a big way, and multiple lineups at a time. I'm like, no. Fletch isn't just smart. He's a genius. Download the Prize Picks app. Sign up with promo code DOGS. First deposit doubled up to $100, and then you'll be having the same amount, maybe more fun than we're having over here. Because listen, I'm wasting time talking to you. Instead, I could be placing Prize Picks lineups.
Jason Tatum, half a point. It's free money.
I'm
So
doing it now.
get on over to Prize Picks today. Quick withdrawals, easy gameplay, enormous selection of players and stat types. That's what make Prize Picks the #1 app, because it's not just basketball, it's not just baseball, it's also Power Slap. It's also darts, and it's also all the fun sports that we've never even heard of until we started playing with the Prize
I
Picks
can't
app.
tell you how many lineups I've put on Korean baseball. This isn't even close to a joke. I've done like 8 of them. I've won 6.
Download the app today. Use code DOGS for a first deposit match up to $100. That's code DOGS on Prize Picks for a first deposit match up to $100. Pick more, pick less. It's that easy.
Mike Tyson has a stomach ulcer, so the tummy ache is going to keep him out of the July 19th bout.
Now, wasn't it? It was just postponed, right?
Currently postponed. Now they're questioning whether or not it should actually take place.
So Roy Jones Jr. was the last opponent of Mike Tyson. It was an exhibition bout. This would be an actual sanctioned fight. And Roy Jones Jr., I'm assuming, would have to pass muster with the Texas Regulations and Licensing Board, which I'm assuming he will if he's in any kind of shape. He's a former boxer, a former pro boxer, a belt holder many times over during his illustrious boxing career. Before we get to the fight, okay, all right, that's the question I want to ask. Like, does he move the needle for you at all?
No.
Roy Jones Jr.? Okay,
no.
right. Yeah.
In fact, Mike Tyson was the reason I was interested in this fight in the first place.
Yeah,
it has nothing to do with Jake Paul.
Yeah, the fight doesn't need to continue on at all at this point. If there's no Mike Tyson, that's the whole point. I haven't been this bummed since Musk Zuckerberg.
Oh my gosh, yeah, that was supposed to happen. They were supposed to fight at mixed martial arts.
Yeah.
And it was supposed to happen in the Roman Colosseum.
That's right. I forgot about that.
How did we not see that as just a hoax?
Well, they were serious at first.
I think there was some serious beef getting laid down, bro.
And I also want to know, like, how much money have Mike Tyson and Jake Paul already made from this? Like the promotion leading up to everything? Like, there's a chance they already have cash and checks for it.
Well, yeah.
Mike Tyson stressed out. His ulcer flared up.
Yeah, well, from an endorsement standpoint, I know that Mike Tyson and BYLT, it's a t-shirt brand, clothing brand.
Sounds like a sandwich.
Yeah, it does.
Sounds good.
Sounds like a delicious sandwich. But he's
bring your own lettuce tomato.
They're doing like a Mike Tyson line.
That's solid.
Thank you.
Bring your I love this show so much.
I could hug you right now.
But yeah, like, I mean, it's a thing. It's a thing when your name's at the top of the ticker, people want to attach themselves to you. And Mike Tyson, it does sort of feel like a money grab. It does feel like the purse in this fight is important to him. And that's fine, because whatever his finances are his own business, and whatever, financial misgivings have occurred over his life, that's his own business. But at the same token, like, he has name recognition, and this felt important to a lot of people. I was potentially going to buy this fight.
Oh, I was in. I knew it was a money grab. And as long as it was a real fight, I didn't care. I was here to pony up the cash for it.
So the update on Tucupita Marcano.
Yeah.
Jeff Passan, blue check mark, real Jeff Passan. Direct quote from him. San Diego Padres infielder Tucupita Marcano has been banned from baseball for gambling. According to MLB, Marcano won only 4.3% of the 231 MLB-related bets that he placed.
Oh, no.
So 231. So 10% of that would be 23, right? Half of that is 11 and a half. So just about 11, 10 and a half, 11.
So 11 out of 231 bets he placed, he won. What's the Mendoza line? The Mendoza line is like the batting average.
Oh,
like
it's 260.
Yeah,
260.
Yeah.
So is 4.3% going to be
Listen,
the Marcano line?
Golly.
Like, that's bad.
No.
It's not great. I'll tell you what, I'm going back through Roy Jones Jr.'s best fights, like, or most memorable fights. James Toney, that was a great fight. Bernard Hopkins, that was a great fight. Montel Griffin was a great fight. I mean, I was a Roy Jones Jr. fan at one point because he was a power puncher who was an evasive fighter. Like,
but everybody from my age under knows who Mike Tyson is. I'm not sure everybody knows who Roy Jones Jr. is.
Trust me, yeah, from a name recognition standpoint, I get it. Yeah, and you probably have to be, it's a bit more of a deep cut if you have to be a boxing fan a little bit to know who Roy Jones Jr. is or to care about Roy Jones Jr. But yeah, I agree with you. I don't think you're going to stir as much reaction or interest if Roy Jones Jr. takes the place of Mike Tyson. I think it's Mike Tyson or nothing.
Conor McGregor's fighting in a couple weeks. That gets everybody there.
100%.
Yeah.
And by the way, if Conor McGregor ever wanted to fight Jake Paul, oh yeah. Oh yeah, in a big way. In a big way. All right. So, man, that solves that. Also, we are keeping an eye out on Oilers Girl. If we get a name, we will pass it along to everybody out there who's interested. And I think you are.
Meanwhile, I'll give you 2 reasons to back the Oilers.
Yeah, 2 big reasons. 4 Corners with newsman Jon Fink on the other side. Also, what the Padres need to do to pull up their bootstraps and come back to SD with a winning series against the Angels. We've got the answers. And NFL offseason superlatives on the other side.
This update is presented by California Department of Healthcare Access and Information. Padres fall to the Angels last night 2-1. The offense could not get it going in Anaheim. 23-year-old Adam Mazur, he's been called up to the Padres. He's going to make his major league debut tonight against the Angels. Sticking with the Pods, Tucupita Marcano, it is now official. He has been given a lifetime ban from Major League Baseball after placing 231 bets while he was with the Pittsburgh Pirates. While he was on the team, he was actually injured at the time with a torn ACL. He also only won 4.3% of those bets, which is a little bit embarrassing for Tucupita. Mental health, social work, and child welfare professionals step into the role of a certified wellness coach and help children and youth lead happier, healthier lives. Learn more at cawellnesscoach.org, supported by the California Department of Healthcare Access and Information.
Welcome back. Big Rich, TD, and Fletch. Happy Tuesday to those who celebrate. So we'll dive right back in. The Padres, a loser to open their series against the Angels. That's okay. They've got 2 more games against the Angels before they come home and face the Diamondbacks.
Yeah. And the Angels scored so many runs yesterday, it was hard to overcome.
All 2 of them. Real quick, before we get going anywhere else, some of the YouTube comments have been very funny today. Carolyn Blocka, who is this Oilers fan? Carolyn's the Queen of the North.
Mm-hmm.
And then 2 minutes later, literally 2 minutes later, oh, sheesh, guys. Did this fan flash the camera? Also, go Oilers go. A Canadian team hasn't won the Cup since 1993.
I think we're all Oilers fans at
Big
this
time.
point.
Everybody is an Oilers fan
that's
today.
like that
Our
country.
buddy Paris, Jon Fink, coming up today? Yes, he is.
Mm-hmm.
Should TD just take a lap now before he starts talking?
What? Jeez. Wait. Who was chiming in on Twitter? Oh, Patrick Allen.
Patrick Allen.
What did he have to say? I haven't seen it yet.
He said that it would be cool if you just lopped off the last name of the show. I think that was
Hang
what
on.
he
I'm
said.
going to read the exact tweet, which, by the way, was sent to us by Ben Fletcher.
What? No, I don't know. What?
What?
We got this tweet from Patrick Allen, one of our great listeners. And thank you for listening, Patrick.
Yes,
Everybody
love
thinks people only listen to this show because of Ben. But that's actually true. Rich and TD are cool, but Ben carries this bitch. Listen.
Oh, wow.
Listen,
Patrick, that's so nice.
Listen,
Are you allowed to
Patrick.
say that?
He is in that scenario.
Okay, all right.
It's
All
an,
right, I'll say that.
it's an editorial.
Yeah, it is an editorial. We read it.
We read it from a printed editorial. Listen, here's the deal. Patrick, I feel like I'm speaking to you, but I know I'm actually speaking to Ben. Ben, are you Patrick Allen? Is this your burner account? Has this been happening?
Yeah.
How many? Why are
Patrick
you?
Allen has sent us wonderful gifts, by the way.
Patrick Allen's the man.
Are you sending the gifts to us?
No,
Yeah.
Patrick Allen lives in Florida.
Right?
Yeah.
Do you know someone in Florida who you've been funneling gifts to us
Or
through?
or is there like a keg and bottle location in Florida that you're just shipping from?
No,
And-
I think Patrick is just a really smart, active listener.
Hmm.
No, Patrick Allen, true story. Patrick Allen, who I love to death, he's been out in Florida. He grew up in Poway, but now he lives in Florida. Since my very first day on the Extra 1360, this was 6 or 7 years ago, Patrick has been the man. And I don't know that he's missed a show.
Yeah.
Yeah, he is the man.
He also may be Ben Fletcher. We're still looking into this.
That's right.
Ben
Ben Fletcher may be the Oilers girl.
No.
How many times he lifts his shirt up?
I'm going to tell
See,
you.
just like that.
You know what?
Mine are
Actually,
way hairier
We
and
should
not
do
as
it
nice.
side by side.
very similar though, nip to flesh ratio.
Come on.
I mean, that is important if we're going to break down anatomy. Which, by the way, hashtag Oilers girl.
At one point, we
Really
did start the rumor that Patrick Allen and Carolyn Blocka were dating.
Oh yeah.
They agreed to meet up at some point. I don't know if it ever happened.
Wait, was there a love connection at all, or just online love connection?
Patrick, Carolyn, please weigh in.
Please weigh in. We would like answers.
We need to know, and
Right.
so do our other listeners
Carol-
who are curious.
Queen of the North, big hockey fan, and we know what happens at hockey games.
Well, we're all of a sudden huge fans for 2 big reasons. Look, I think,
That's our hockey analysis.
and that's as far as we'll go
We are your premier destination.
for Padres.
Information.
So listen, the Padres, speaking of them, it's going exactly how you thought it would go. They stranded runners in scoring position all day long. Machado had a nice solo homer. It was the only run they scored. Matt Waldron did what Matt Waldron does, which through 5 starts now, he's been consistently the best Padres pitcher. He's been really good this season. So get used to it. This is what it's going to look like, I'm guessing, because he's been very consistent through the majority. I shouldn't say the majority of his starts, but say he ends up starting 20, 23 games this year. I mean, we're already a quarter of the way through his starts. If you're just talking about the last 5,
Yeah, and
that's
he's
impressive.
And he's been racking up wins, which is unexpected. I mean, it shouldn't be that you have to rely on the guy.
Well, no, and here's the unfortunate part of this story is this should have been a win for him. It should have been a win for him. He did everything. By the way, the bullpen did everything in their power to create a winning situation for the Padres. Runs trickled in from the Angels side, but the Padres offense did not show up for this one. And that has been the case with this team the whole season long. As soon as you see them do something good or have a little success, it's met with almost immediate failure, and it swings exactly as far in the opposite direction. So 2 nice wins on the road against the KC Royals, and it's followed by 2 straight losses, one on the way out of the door in Kansas City, and the opener in Anaheim. We'll see how today goes. It's going to be Adam Mazur on the mound for the San Diego Padres, called up for obvious reasons. Yu Darvish and Joe Musgrove both on the IL.
23 years old, throws hard. He sits around 96, 97 miles per hour. Everything we've heard from the minor league system through like Matt Friars or any of those guys that joined John and Jim, Darren Smith, they're stoked on this guy.
Yeah.
Hopefully it can translate to the major league level. I think that this may be a little earlier than they were planning on bringing him up, but necessity creates demand, creates Adam Mazur starting tonight for the Padres.
Yeah, it is. And sometimes necessity is the mother of invention. So who knows? Maybe we'll see something special happen tonight against the Angels, and Adam Mazur will find his way into this rotation in maybe continue on his Major League Baseball path.
We were talking about yesterday at the trade deadline, the Padres are going to probably need to add a pitcher or 2. Maybe Adam Mazur is one of those guys. Look, right now you can be as hopeful as you want. Like, he's never pitched a pitch at the Major League level. And so he could be great. He could be terrible. We have no idea. But going into tonight, you have to have a little hope.
You guys remember Paddock?
Yeah, the sheriff.
Yeah.
It's Paddock Day.
Well,
that was you.
Yeah, oh, dude, I almost bought a cowboy hat. I ended up buying it recently, but I was super excited.
That was a dumb move.
I wonder if I still have
not
that
buying
drop.
it earlier.
I know I should have.
I mean, you look good in a cowboy hat.
As it turns, I'm not going to even refute this, dude. My head may have been made for a cowboy hat.
Like, honestly, when they were drawing up plans for cowboy hats, it was on you.
They were thinking about it.
Yeah,
See,
absolutely.
this was before your time, but I used to have a drop of Rich when he was doing afternoons where it was one of Chris Paddock's start days and he comes on the air and it's like Steve opened up the show one way and then the first words out of Rich's mouth, "It's Paddock Day."
And it was.
And it played a million times on the old station.
I was so excited. By the way, Chris Paddock, he had a similar start to what we're talking about potentially with Adam Mazur. Hard throwing guy. He went out there. He befuddled hitters for a little bit. And look, these were during some dark times with the Padres. It was fun to watch. It was fun. The sheriff, man, he had a nickname. Anyways, he goes out there and he throws gas and he's getting a lot of swing and misses for I want to say 8 or 9 starts. And then all of a sudden he hits the skids. And then all of a sudden it's going real bad. And then all of a sudden he's sent to Lake Elsinore. And it's still not going well when he comes back.
Remember spring training that one year he was on the backfields throwing? They were hiding Chris Paddock from everybody.
It was just one of those things where you can fool guys early in your career if you're a pitcher. And I think that's what could happen here. So even if it's a spot start, it may be good for the Padres.
Right. On the YouTube text line here, Carolyn says that she's not been able to communicate with Patrick because she's locked out of her Twitter account. Why don't you just open a new account? Yeah. Come on, get this love connection going.
Yeah. We'll get this thing back on track.
She does admit there was a secret love romance. Yeah. So there's that. Interested indeed. Now, we've tried to set people up several times. It's not going well. Maybe we can do it with Carolyn and Patrick Allen.
The Floridian and the Canadian meet in the middle. What's in the middle of those two?
I don't know, like
Missouri?
Nebraska.
I think she lives in Toronto.
Maybe St. Louis.
Oh, wait, Toronto.
Toronto's east, isn't
East.
Maybe they meet right under the arch, the gateway to the west.
But West Virginia.
And then there's a picture of them just as they slow run to what's the song when the sun is
Chariots
setting?
of Fire.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Keep
The
going.
sun is setting. That's the one. It's slow mo. Patrick running. Carolyn running. then they meet in the middle.
Right. And then over here on the West Coast, we'll just see a like explosion out in the distance.
San Diego Sports 760 jingle to that.
Yeah.
Rich, back him up.
Well, listen, we've got a lot to do today, okay? We still have to get to our NFL offseason superlatives. We still have to get to bottom of the barrel. But before we do that, as we do every Tuesday at this time, we're going to be joined by newsman Jon Fink for Four Corners. But first, a halftime.
Yes. We've been talking about it all morning, but we'll continue to talk about it. The Padres lose to the Angels yesterday. The Angels were the worst home team in baseball, and the Padres were the best road team in baseball, but they said, to hell with that. We'll score one run, and if that ain't enough, F them. That's why. And then the Angels scored two, so they lost. But they get a do-over today. They play again at 6:38. Be there. Don't be late. For 6:38. That's what they always say in baseball.
What's happening at 6:38?
It's the first time they're going to throw the baseball.
Yeah, but what would they call
what
that?
do we call that?
Like, what's
in
the
baseball?
common lexicon for
They
that?
say like kickoff in football, or they'll say puck drops at this time, or hey, tip off in the NBA. What do they say in baseball?
I think it's first pitch.
Wow, you really landed that.
Pitch.
Yeah.
It still kind of sounds
It
like it. I
does.
think your
Like-
P's just sound like B's.
I think it's
Why?
the way your face is shaped.
I can't say
It's the
I
way
can't-
your mouth moves.
pitch. Pitch. Pitch.
You know what? Let's dump this. Let's dump this whole segment.
Yeah.
I don't think that can go over the
Let's
FCC.
Start over.
Do we use any non-royalty free music?
Whoops.
Get rid of it.
Out of the podcast. Padres infielder Tucapita Marcano.
Actually, I'll have two.
Okay. That's officially banned from Major League Baseball for life for betting on Pirates games while he was a member of the team last season. Four other players: A's pitcher Michael Kelly, Diamondbacks pitcher Andrew Saalfrank, Padres pitcher Jay Groom.
Yep.
Oh, snap. He's also lifetime banned?
No, just 1 year.
Okay, good. Because I think the Padres
Congratulations.
are going to need him. He's supposedly a great
Well,
prospect.
hopefully they need him next year because he ain't playing for a year.
I didn't know he was involved in that. That's like Darren's boy. He loves Jay Groom.
Well, Jay Groom.
Looking up his minor league stats.
Out. He's got a full head of hair.
Yeah, dude.
Lovely
He's got
locks.
he's got some hair on him.
Uh-huh. In the WNBA, other than Angel Reese thinking that she's the only reason people are tuning in, nothing. No one played last night.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, apparently they just take nights off. No games at all. There was nothing.
Just a blackout day. They're
It
just like,
happens.
you know
That's
what?
why Richie wasn't on Prize Picks last night.
Mondays off.
But I did win the night before.
Woo!
A little fever liberty action. All right, let's do it. You've been waiting all day long, as have we. It's Tuesday, so we turn now to the Four Corners news desk with Jon Fink.
Stories you didn't know you needed to know. From the Four Corners News Desk, I'm Jon Fink. We're going to start off in Spain's Costa Brava region. Platia de Aro has now made restrictions with fines in place. Do we know about stag and hen do's? Are we familiar with these things? These are
the
British
name
versions
sounds
of
somewhat
Bachelor
familiar.
and Bachelorette party.
Oh, no. I had no idea.
So they call them stag do's
parties.
and hen do's.
Okay,
is what
got
they
it.
call
Got
them.
it.
They have now put restrictions because it's such a popular place. That resort will see as many as 300,000 visitors on a summer weekend. But now you can no longer do it in a giant costume shaped like genitals. It's very sad.
Right.
They banned this?
They've banned this with fines as low as $325 American. $1,600 is the top fine for wearing basically those giant inflatable dinosaur costumes.
Yeah.
It's like that,
But different shape.
different shape. It's there's no question what it is.
That's pretty sad.
Can we
because
order one for TD?
I mean,
What?
I think
What?
we should.
Travis tries Tuesdays.
Do I
Yes.
just have to wear the inflatable suit?
Ask
Yeah.
me about my wiener.
You've got to, and you've got to have the song "Everybody Wang Chung" tonight in the background. So.
Everybody have fun tonight.
Yeah, right.
Listen, have you been to a bachelor party where you have decided I should wear this costume?
I have not.
What?
The last bachelor party I went to was in Vegas, and everything smelled like cigarettes and shame, and I didn't really have any other kind of decorations.
That's what the inside of any of those costumes smell like.
Yeah, pretty much. Yes, thank
and
goodness.
shame.
Thank
By the
goodness there's
way,
a fan.
Jon Fink, a
Yes,
very,
sir.
very tall individual, you would have a very, very prominent costume.
Oh,
Yes,
no
yes,
question about
true.
it.
I think I would be a great representative for what is it, Man Zone? Or,
yeah. There's a lot of surface area.
I'm,
You would need an actual lawnmower.
a shower and a grower. Just some landscaping equipment to keep it all in place. You know,
Someone with a pull chain start.
Yeah. Yeah, and then I'll have to get stuff to. No, never mind.
Anyway,
What?
Yes,
We're just talking two strokes.
I
dude,
mean,
yeah.
exactly. I mean,
What? Why'd you look up at me, Fletch?
he hasn't even touched the dump button.
Yeah.
I think we're okay.
Yeah.
Last week we kind of wore it out.
Mm-hmm.
In related news, disturbingly, they've done studies now for the new fountain of youth or elixir of life for men, castration.
get the
Wait,
hell
no,
out of here,
turns
John.
out-
I'm gonna die early.
Turns
the
out-
only thing in this world I have is my word and my balls, and I'll break them for no one.
Well, this scientist, Kat Bohannon, is saying that men are, quote, smuggling 2 little death nuggets around in their bodies. They have done long-term studies that male mammals live longer, especially male human populations that have gone through with this procedure have 14 to 19 years longer on their life.
I'll tell you right now, a
Good
ballless existence is no existence for
Yeah,
me.
no kidding.
That's what I was going to say.
Yeah,
like,
I mean-
what is it? What would it? Time is precious. As we get older, we see these people pass in our lives.
Wait a second. Is castration? Is it that just the? Is that the purse, or is that the bat? In
No,
the,
I think it's just
I
the.
think it's,
I think it's just the purse.
just the berries
Okay,
of the
just-
twig and berry.
yeah.
okay, not the
Yes.
twig. Just
Yeah.
the
Either way,
berries.
I'm out.
Yeah,
No,
I
you're out?
Yeah.
I just wanted clarity. I'm out
Okay.
with all of it.
Was it
I mean-
17 years?
14
14
it's
to
the
19 years extra.
The last,
I don't need
life.
the last 14 to 19, though.
Some
And they're
people
not going to be
call it
Tough
happy.
trade-off.
Some people say that's the best.
No,
I
feel like
they call
that's
them
the worst.
The golden years. I'm good.
Yeah.
You ain't going on the Golden Bachelor.
No,
You don't even care.
Oh,
No,
I-
no,
you don't even
good
care.
point. Yeah,
Rich,
good point.
I'd vote for you on the Golden.
I might.
Did they give roses?
Some kind of road.
Moving on.
Moving right on. Next up, a huge breakthrough in science. Scientists in China have now figured out how to genetically engineer a tobacco plant to produce cocaine.
Oh my gosh! All right.
Welcome to the future.
Hey, I'll tell you right now.
Living in the future.
All of a
guys.
sudden, I'm back zen.
Yeah.
Oh no!
Oh.
Why would you?
Oh.
a bad joke.
Great.
That was a
Gosh.
I'm going to dispute that lap. That was a pretty strong one.
I mean, I was almost upset. I didn't think of that.
That was
That was
pretty
fantastic.
strong. Oh my goodness
That's
gracious. Okay.
So the cocaine plant.
Yeah, so the cocaine tobacco, yes, scientists in China don't look to see any new warning labels on your pack of cigarettes just yet. It's a very specific strain of tobacco, and it doesn't produce that much cocaine, but it's
But it's a start.
it's a
we gotta
start. Yeah,
somewhere.
we got to start somewhere.
What what I like is with all the new technology,
Yes.
they decided, what we should do.
Yeah. Forget cancer.
Yeah, no.
Forget fighting cancer.
No. How do we make a
Forget
cocaine
world-
plant?
What about that World Hunger thing?
No.
No.
God,
Okay.
you out of your
No,
mind?
no.
Yeah, no.
First,
Yeah.
we got to figure out
Yeah.
how to stay up later to figure out how to solve world hunger.
I've got so many screenplays to write, you guys.
Yeah.
So many.
I want to open up several businesses with you, and I have 3 ideas that I want to pitch you at lightning speed at 2:30 in the morning
Oh,
after
yes.
a night of drinking.
Eggnog,
oh my
baby.
God. Cake-nog coming to a cake and bottle near you.
Wow, that's
Damn right.
terrifying. And finally, there is reports now of someone from Air India, a female flight attendant, is now under arrest for smuggling almost 1 kilogram of gold in her backside.
Wow. Well, you know what they'll say.
Yeah. What do they say, Travis?
Why are you pointing
I'm already. He doesn't even know what you're gonna say.
Preemptive.
What?
It's a preemptive.
What would they
What
say?
do they say, Travis?
Once it's India, it's gonna be out of you.
Yep.
Yeah, that's
Wow.
definitely. Yeah.
Wow.
Wow. Zers.
That wasn't great. It was less than. Well, hey, I don't even understand. Once it's India, got it.
Wow.
Got it.
That was.
I didn't hate it.
I mean, I think I got some steps in just hearing that joke. It was a long way to go. So for people that wanted to know just about how much volume,
Oh boy.
900, it was a 960 grams of gold will take up just about the edge of a Sharpie. Like the
Okay.
it's only about that much.
I'm gonna be honest with you.
That's not so bad.
The only problem you have
Tens of thousands of dollars.
is gold is dense.
Yes.
So that's a hefty little.
that is
nugget.
a hefty nugget right there. I mean, no, I mean, unless you saw a completely different Oilers video than I saw.
By the way, yeah. Are you rooting for Edmonton? The Oilers are in the Stanley Cup Finals.
I am now.
Oh, so are we, buddy.
I am now.
I'm looking up some gold mining terms.
Oh yes,
What do they call that thing? That's
a sluice.
a sluice. Yeah, we
Yes.
just need to get her keister in a sluice.
That's
knock
right.
Knock that
Are,
nugget
wait,
loose.
are you talking about the sluice? Is where you run the dirt over?
It's true.
Are you talking about the shaker jig?
Oh yeah, maybe.
Yeah,
maybe.
maybe so.
Yeah, yeah.
They
Either
sluice
way,
is
I'm big
loose.
time into gold
So-
mining.
either
Wow.
way, we gotta put her. Look, you know what? We'll get back to that. We have so many Tuesdays ahead of us, and Jon Fink's a busy guy,
Right.
so we will bid him adieu as we do every Tuesday. It ends
Jon
too
Fink.
soon.
Thanks,
Jon
Jon
Fink,
Thank you.
Thanks for having me.
Newsman,
thank you
Always
very
a
much.
pleasure. Always a pleasure.
unbelievable selection there
Right.
of news stories you didn't know you needed to know.
Correct.
Here's something else that you may not have known that you needed to know. Couple of people by the name of Wayne and Chloe over at sdfatloss.com. Goodness gracious. We didn't know them, and then we do now, and we're better for it. Here's the reason why. Because we were chubsters.
Right.
We were BBMs. Big, beautiful men.
Was that a
Okay.
thing?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Look it up. Actually, don't look it
Wait.
up. Does here on
Hang
more
on.
computers.
Hang on.
Anyways, the point is, we had all of the things. We had deep belly buttons, stretch marks. We had great circumferences in terms of thighs. Look, the point is, we needed help. We were fatzos. And Wayne and Chloe stepped in and they saved the day. They said, hey, look, we're going to change your lifestyle. And this is serious. They walked in, they saw the situation. They said, we're going to get you on the plan. Within the first week, you're going to drop 10 pounds like it's nothing. And we all were skeptical. We're like, yeah, sure. Well, within 7 days, I lost 14 pounds. Fletch was down 12. TD was down 11. It was
crazy.
Nuts. And then over the first 30 days, I lost over 35 pounds. TD lost over 30, and Fletch lost over or close to 40 pounds. I think it was like a pound shy of 40. He was like 39 pounds down. It was unbelievable. Fletch is now down close to 50 pounds. I've kept my weight off. TD has kept his weight off as well. It's been unbelievably successful for this show. We've lost over 100 pounds cumulatively. So if you too need to lose weight ahead of beach season, now's the time. SDFatLoss.com. No tricks, no gimmicks, no food delivered to your house, no injections, no exercise. It's the natural way. All you got to do is sign up at SDFatLoss.com right now. And if you do, mention our show name, Big Rich, TD, and Fletch. Look, we've got 2 big reasons to sign up now.
And each of those are $100 bills.
Yeah, that's right. $200 off if you mention the show name, Big Rich, TD, Fletch, SDFatLoss.com.
Oh, man. I want to talk to you about our iHeartRadio Music Festival. It is back, and you can win tickets before you can buy them. Live performances by Big Sean, Camila Cabello, Doja Cat, Gwen Stefani, New Kids on the Block, Shabuzi, and a whole lot more.
Bar getting tipsy. You know
One,
me and Jack
two,
Daniels got
three, and 2 to
history.
4. That's right. It's happening September 20th and 21st at T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas. We're talking 2 nights on one stage. Listen to win tickets before you can buy them, including airfare and hotel accommodations in Las Vegas, plus $1,000 in your pocket. Just keep listening to win. And our exclusive Capital One cardholder presale begins next Wednesday. San Diego Sports 760.
You know me and Jack Daniels got history.
You know me and Jack Daniels got a history. That actually rhymed. Ow! Whoa! Yeah! Ugh!
This update is presented by California Department of Healthcare Access and Information. We will begin with those Padres. They fall to the Angels last night 2-1 as the offense could not get it going in Anaheim. 23-year-old Adam Mazur has been called up to the Padres. He's going to make his Major League debut tonight against the Angels. Sticking with the Padres, kinda. Tucupita Marcano, he has gotten the lifetime ban from Major League Baseball after betting on the Pirates games last year. While he was with Pittsburgh, he was also injured with a torn ACL at the time of all the bets. He only won about 4.3% of them. With nearly half of our youth struggling with their mental health, California is building a certified wellness coach program to help. Learn more at cawellnesscoach.org, supported by the California Department of Healthcare Access and Information.
Daryl Hall going to be out at the Cal Coast Credit Union Amphitheater June 16th. Ticketmaster.com if you're looking to buy tickets or just get some more information. But we will have another pair of tickets to give away tomorrow.
Congrats to Tim.
Tim.
He's a teacher here in San Diego.
Tim,
I have
the
a soft
teacher.
spot to teachers. If Tim was a woman, I probably would have married him.
Wow. Very least date him.
At the very least.
Yeah.
That's right. That's
Yeah.
right.
And shout out
the
to all the
type.
teachers. They
Yeah.
got like a week and a half left. Like, I know Kendall's last day of school is next Wednesday. I think that's pretty standard across the county. And you guys have worked your asses off. You deserve this
That's right.
3-month break.
That's right. Sarah's all done Friday, but man, oh man, it's a marathon getting there. There's a lot of work to be done here this last week. the teachers last week of school doesn't seem to be as fun when we were in school enjoying the last week. Like there's a lot happening.
Like we think about field day and all the different fun games we get to play. They have to think about report cards.
Yeah.
I can't even imagine. Like it was bad enough receiving report cards. I cannot even imagine trying to write a report card.
Yeah.
Like checking every single box and thinking about each kid intently. And then also parent teacher conferences. Just had that with our youngest teacher. I mean, she knows our son as well as any human on the planet right now. Like she's got him dead to rights. Like she knows every single thing about him. I'm just like, oh my gosh. I'm like, do you want to help?
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
I had an English teacher that every report card would put, it was number 5, you know, the next to the letter, there would be comments and, you know, whatever that would be of a student refuses to read aloud in class, whatever it was. It was always number 5, and number 5 was student refuses to dress out, which I believe was only for PE.
I was that student who I got A's in all the academic stuff, but then we had conduct and effort on there. And I was a straight C conduct and effort boy. But the rest of them were A's. So you tell me what makes sense.
It's like confidence, A+++++++. We are, you will never have to. This guy thinks he could do it. Trust me.
Science, math, English, history, A's, all of them. Conduct, effort. Like, how can I get A's in everything and have a C in effort?
We may
A in anything.
Not have time to do this. Speaking of going back to school, but or maybe we'll have time to do some of them, but not all of them. Do you guys want to do some NFL offseason superlatives?
Hell yeah, dude.
At work?
Talking NFL at work.
How much time do we got left, by the way, before NFL kicks off?
Yeah. You got to look that up. Let's get back to that.
Yeah.
I know, I got it right here. Here we go. We have 92 days.
Yes.
Okay, still 92 days.
15 hours, 22 minutes, 38 seconds.
Right around the corner. Yeah.
That is still kickoff with the Kansas City Chiefs and the Baltimore Ravens.
I honestly thought this would tick off faster.
Yeah, this is getting a little bit
tomorrow,
monotonous, to be honest with you.
Breaking news tomorrow.
What's that?
91 days.
I mean, 91 days, 15 hours, and some change.
At this time, yeah.
At this time tomorrow.
I am excited.
Yeah,
okay, let's start with some of these rookie quarterbacks, first rounders specifically, most likely to have a bust QB. Which team is most likely to have a bust at QB? So there were 6 first-round quarterbacks taken all before the 13th pick of this draft.
So we almost have to go with like guaranteed starters, right? So you got Caleb Williams, Jaden Daniels, JJ McCarthy. We're assuming is going to beat out.
Yeah, Sam Darnold.
You assume,
in
right?
Minnesota, yeah.
Maybe not. I'd say Jaden Daniels probably has the highest bust potential because I have the least faith in the Commanders.
I'm going to say Drake May because I have
with the Patriots.
Least faith in the Patriots offensive line.
I just read a hilarious story about Drake May. It's going to be Drake May starting rookie quarterback. Their left tackle is going to be a starting rookie with 0 NFL experience. And maybe their right guard or center, I can't remember, but it's going to be a starting rookie with 0 experience.
It's going to be tough.
Yeah, I agree with you, Rich. I think it's Drake May as well. The Patriots they're going to put everything on Drake May. And it seems like that's going to be the hardest for him to keep up. He breaks first.
Flip that question upside down. Which of these 6 first-round drafted QBs do you think is going to become a franchise quarterback with the team who selected them?
I mean, it feels like the Bears should be at the top of the list here.
They're still the Chicago Bears.
Yep, that's the one caveat.
Give me JJ McCarthy because I trust Kevin O'Connell and I trust Justin Jefferson.
Yeah, actually, that probably does sound a little better.
It's not Bo Nix.
Oh, actually, give me Bo Nix.
What?
I know that sounds crazy, but Sean Payton, amongst all the coaches who drafted a first-round quarterback, I mean, look, that guy got a lot out of Russell Wilson. I'm not saying the Denver Broncos were good, and I'm not saying those were the best years of Russell Wilson's career, but there was something wrong with Russell Wilson after Nathaniel Hackett, after the Seahawks, frankly, toward the end of the time with the Seahawks. Peyton got a lot out of him. I think he's going to get a lot out of Bo Nix. I think at very least he's going to be a franchise quarterback.
The hang up I have with Bo Nix is I feel like he should be selling me P90X videos. I don't know why. Just sounds like P90X with Bo Nix.
You're saying his name leads you down the path of infomercials?
Yes, exactly correct.
Okay, let's move on to our next NFL offseason superlative. Most likely to go from the bottom of their division to division winner.
All right, so at the end of the year last year, Patriots were at the bottom of the AFC East.
Mhm.
Bengals were at the bottom of the AFC North. Can that possibly be right?
Oh,
Yeah,
this is. Are we talking about with their picks? Oh, just in general.
AFC
Got it.
South Titans were at the bottom. AFC West Chargers were at the bottom. NFC East Commanders were at the bottom. NFC North Bears were at the bottom. NFC South Panthers were at the bottom. NFC West Cardinals were at the bottom. There is one team that sticks out to me big time.
Same.
Yeah, there's only one.
1, 2, 3, Cincinnati
Chargers.
Bengals.
Wow.
I was going to say Bengals as well. Chargers. At the top?
Chargers. Okay, so let me tell you why.
At the top.
The Chiefs are in that division.
The Cincinnati Bengals, I don't think have any chance of beating out the Baltimore Ravens.
I don't really think that either.
But the Chargers have a chance to overtake the Kansas City Chiefs.
Jim Harbaugh has very quickly turned around every single franchise he's been a part of.
I agree. And if this argument was who's going to go from bottom to second place in their division, Chargers would be my guess with a bullet. But if you're thinking about the team most likely to overtake their division, I like the Bengals over the Ravens a hell of a lot more than I like the Chargers over the Chiefs.
I don't know.
Although the Bengals are falling apart as we speak.
But they have Joe Burrow.
This happened with the Chiefs, by the way. When Andy Reid came in, he saved the day. He came in, he brought Alex Smith in from trade from the San Francisco 49ers. They went from a 3-win team to an 11-win team. Last year, the Chargers were a 5-win team. They already have the quarterback. Justin Herbert is elite. He's waiting for a coach and an offense that can highlight his gifts. I think it's possible that the Chiefs are a wild card team. Again, and this is really just predicated on how much further I think the Baltimore Ravens are ahead of the Bengals. I could be wrong. All right, moving on to the last one. The playoff team who you think is likely on the outside looking in this season that was in last season.
So unfortunately, this one ends up being pretty easy because the Steelers were in the playoffs a year ago. Like, remember they lose to the Bills in the wild card game, but the Steelers kind of snuck into the postseason.
Yeah.
I would have the Steelers dropping out.
Interesting.
Wow.
Okay.
I feel like in the NFC South, the Falcons are going to be the team to beat in that division, and the Bucks are out.
Interesting. Okay.
I like playoff Baker.
Yeah, well,
He's got to get there.
he does have to get there. He's got to replicate success, and he's a paid man now. He was hungry last year. That dog got fed.
Yeah.
I agree with you. I think this is going to be a tough year for the Steelers. I think Mike Tomlin, he's magical. I have no idea how he took a team that was putting Rudolph, Trubisky, and Pickett out there, a quarterback who, by the way, it's laughable. If you want to look it up, go look up the QB stats for the Steelers last year. Look at their touchdown to interception ratio.
Even just total offensive yards a year ago.
I think
it was embarrassingly low.
Okay, Steelers QB. I mean, it's worth looking up. QB.
Like, did the 3 Steelers quarterbacks last year have a better or worse season than Bryce Young? The 3 combined have a better or worse season than Bryce Young.
Oh, I think they had a much worse season than Bryce Young.
I would agree.
And
Bryce Young had a terrible season.
Yeah, but you don't feel like if Mike Tomlin can get there with what he had last season, he could get there with what he currently is looking at this season?
You know what I think Mike Tomlin can do this year? The
Retire.
same thing Mike Tomlin has done every year of his career.
Have
This
a
is going to be a
winning season.
500 football team.
This
One
is
over.
This is all the Pittsburgh Steelers quarterbacks combined. 13 touchdowns, 9 interceptions.
How many total passing yards? And I'm going to guess, I don't know if you can combine the passing yards because they're probably all separate.
Yeah.
I'm going to guess it's under 3,500.
It's 3,421. They were
That is abysmal, by the way.
So bad. They were so bad. It was laughable, but somehow Mike Tomlin does it. Now, however, though, I mean, they're better at quarterback. It's tough. I feel like yes,
both
the Steelers are
quarterback
gonna be out.
options this year are better than any option they had a year ago. Justin Fields, Russell Wilson. It's going to be, is there drama in that quarterback room? Who's actually the starter?
Yeah.
Is Russell Wilson going to start the season as the quarterback that Justin Fields takes over in week 5? Because look at a team that's been successful doing that. The answer, you can't find one.
Tune in again next time. That's where I thought you were going.
92 days away.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Tomorrow it'll be 91 days away. We're almost there.
All right, coming up next, we'll get to bottom of the barrel. Before we run, want to talk to you about a Taco Tuesday. That's right. On Prize Picks, they have these features. They come up. Days of the week are named. We got Taco Tuesday today. We have Flex Fridays later in the week. And me and Fletch, since we've downloaded the Prize Picks app, we signed up with promo code DOGS, that's DOGS, to have our first deposit doubled up to $100. We have been all over these promotions, and you should too. What I love about Prize Picks is it reminds you. I'll get some notifications saying, hey, buddy, you know what today is? And I'm like, no, what is it, Prize Picks? And he goes, it's Taco Tuesday.
We're going to get that notification in about 30 minutes. They usually get sent out around 9:15 Pacific time. But I always, when we do these NFL segments, I always love looking ahead to the NFL season because on Prize Picks, you can already go passing yards, receiving yards, rush yards, passing touchdowns, all the different stats for the NFL season 2024 are already up. You can go more or less than on Prize Picks. And I've already made a few NFL entries as we get ready for the season that's 92 days away. But that's the beauty of Prize Picks. It gets me excited about all the different sports I love, whether it's MMA, basketball, baseball, NFL. Like, I cannot wait for things coming up in the future because of Prize Picks.
Yeah, listen, I mean, for example, Justin Herbert, starting quarterback for the Chargers, 3,599 and a half passing yards over the course of the season.
More than.
Yeah, you would say more than. I mean, could it be less than? Is there going to be more of a focus on the run game? I'm kind of leaning less than. That's the point. That's what I love about Prize Picks is you can make an argument on these season-long lineups, and then you can get to see them happen over time. Or if you need that instant gratification, we have the WNBA season going, Major League Baseball. I love doing pitcher strikeouts. I love taking more or less on my lineups on pitcher strikeouts, and Korean baseball, the KBO. If you want to fall asleep to a lineup and wake up to a win like old Tricky Dicky Ornberger, you could get involved that way as well. Look, it's the #1 fantasy sports app in all of North America, 5 million subscribers strong for good reason. It is a super simple, easy to use interface. We've been doing this for a while now. Trust us. Download the Prize Picks app. Use promo code DOGS. That's DOGS. Woof, woof. And you're going to have your first deposit doubled up to $100. That's promo code DOGS, DOGS with the Prize Picks app. Prize Picks. Pick more. Pick less. It's that easy. Ow! Oh! Oh!
Hit us up on the talkback mic. Just open up the free iHeartRadio app. Listen to San Diego Sports 760 and tap that little microphone icon next to the play button to leave a 30-second talk back. San Diego Sports 760.
Give us a minute. We'll give you the world.
Ow!
Give me that tap again. How you said that?
Tap.
Big Rich, TD, and Fletch, bottom of the barrel here as we wrap up a Tuesday show.
TD, you wanna
Padres
give us some of the names
in
of the
action?
iHeart Radio Music Festival.
I
38.
sure do. The iHeartRadio Music Festival, looking for some kind of email that has the names. Yeah, here we go.
Gwen Stefani,
Big Sean,
Big Sean,
Camila Cabello,
Doja Cat,
woo, Hosier,
and more.
Keith Urban, New Kids on the Block, Paramore, Shabuzi.
Shabuzi, the Black Crows.
I like
You know
that.
me and
Yeah.
Jack Daniel
Oh,
got
dude, Thomas
history.
Rhett.
Victoria Monet,
Good
and
singer.
more.
And more.
It's going to be a hell of a show. It
Yeah.
always is, man. The iHeartRadio Music Festival over the course of a couple days out in Las Vegas. It's happening September 20th and 21st.
2 nights, 1 stage.
That's right. And you can win tickets, not only tickets, but $1,000 spending cash. Woo!
in a
Listen,
hotel room.
Capital One card holders will have priority access to pre-sale tickets at iHeart Music Festival starting on June 12th at 10 a.m. That's Pacific time, all the way through June 14th at 10 a.m. Pacific time as well. So tickets will be going fast. There's no question about it. So line up, go get them. Seats and deets at wait, where's
Is
the
it
website?
Ticketmaster.com?
Oh, AXS. They will be available at AXS.com.
Seats and deeds.
Seats and deets. So check it out. For bottom of the barrel today, we take you to a long-lived rivalry, frankly, that I never really thought we'd see either one be toppled, whether it be the 1 seed or the 2 seed.
Mm-hmm.
But all of a sudden, Pepsi's reign as the number 2 soda in the country is over.
It's done. It's done. They fall to number 3 by the good doctor himself. Dr. Pepper takes over the number 2 spot.
Do you
do like a
remember?
Dr. Pepper.
Do you remember little Dr. Pepper?
Yeah, is he not around
Is
anymore?
his name Lil Pepper?
That was the American Idol guy, right?
Wait, is that who it was?
He was on American Idol, and then
I
that was
love little Dr. Pepper.
I forget his name. Did they call him Little Dr. Pepper?
I don't know. Little Dr.
You
Pepper.
gotta drink another.
Oh, so great. So great. Oh, yeah. It's Justin Guarini.
I didn't
That's
know
who little
that.
Dr. Pepper is? The guy that lost to Kelly Clarkson?
bingo.
Holy smokes.
Look,
Oh, wait a second.
that's
He-
the best thing Justin
the way,
Guarini's ever done.
No, that isn't.
What?
The most famous thing about Justin Guarini is during his time on American Idol, allegedly he slept with Paula Abdul.
What?
Yeah.
Dude's a baller.
Rush, rush, hurry, hurry, lover, come to me.
Thank you to Jon Fink. Thank you, Rich. Thank you, TD. Thank you to Tim, our winner of the Daryl Hall tickets. We'll have more of those coming up tomorrow. Thank you to the roadies, the dogs, the hangers, the bangers. Go download Prize Picks now and use promo code DOGS.
And I
Support
miss
Court.
Scat Cat.
Take this, mama. Give her loves. Breathe those tired lips. They deserve something sweeter than Dr. Diet Pepper.
Colin Cowherd next.
Yep, the herd.